Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 10th point, season 6, week 11. I am the Red Mage, like every week, and joining me on the line for this week are Loman.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Red Mage, appreciate you guys having me on yet again.
And I see Gosmith in chat. He said he was gonna be a little late. I don't know if he just dropped by for now or if he's actually around. Gosmith, are you there?
Time Vault did nothing wrong.
Thank you, Gosmith. Oh, Time Vault did nothing wrong. The problem is that they printed Oracle. But with that said, we have 10 players today. They're all raring to go. So let's get this show on the road. As you, Gosmith punctually posted exclamation point Highlander in chat. That's for an exclamation with the format. If you want to know exactly what we're doing here, we're going to be playing some powerful magic, and this format is incredibly sweet. There's a little bit more links. There's a links in the chat in order to, like, if you need more of an explanation of what it is. If you want an explanation of what we are, you can type exclamation point 10 point. No, the next poll is not current yet. Do not Gosmith. No. Anyway, so exclamation point 10 point gets you to our website. But basically, what we're gonna be doing is we're on a 12-week season and then a top 8 at the end. We have a Saturday tournament and a Sunday tournament that are running in the same style. The Sunday tournament is a stream. The Saturday is for people that maybe can't do the whole streaming thing with as much or don't want the overhead. So, like, you get to actually do things a little bit easier in that way. But currently the Saturday one is on hiatus. We had some problem finding it. So basically, the top 4 of the Saturday bracket, the top 4 of the Sunday bracket will end up going into our final event, which is going to happen 2 weeks from now. That's gonna be exciting. We're gonna see some powerful magic. We have some prizes on the line in the form of tickets or a gift card for the website of your choice. We're really excited to bring you the most powerful magic we can on that date. With that said, I don't have the polls ready for next week yet, but they're gonna be in chat at some point, probably halfway through the event. Outside of that, we should be right. Also, as of halfway through this season, if I remember correctly, something like that, we are a Twitch affiliate channel. So if you felt like throwing us a sub, that helps keeps the boat afloat, helps us doing things like offering prizes. It makes things easier. So, like, if you have this $5 and you feel like giving them to somebody, and it could be us, we take them. But also, especially if those are Jeff Bezos' $5, because he doesn't need them. If you have a Prime sub, it should go to somebody, and if it's us, we really appreciate it. But it definitely should go to somebody. I want to get this tournament started as fast as possible, so I am going to get things on the road. I will be posting. I'm posting the. Can you tell I'm buying time? Is that clear? I'm saying, like, I've been saying the same 78 things. Wow, that was loud.
Frankly, yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. Great. You guys can carry in and
Totally.
save me from my own embarrassing while I post the results.
Sounds good. Hey, Red Mage, I see you took the top knot out. I was digging the fucking top knot, bud. It's not really magic related, but I think it's probably the most relevant thing I have to talk about right now.
It might come back. We're not out yet. My hair is everywhere. I just
No, I wasn't trying to say something I wasn't saying. I actually missed the top knot. I'm one of those guys that has never. Well, I've had long hair in my life, but I can never tolerate long hair for a long period of time. It just gets in my way. Gets in my eye.
I love having my hair long. I don't love having it this long. This is a little bit too much. It goes all over my neck. It's just a pain. So that's
right.
kind of the reason. What are we watching?
You tell me. I'll watch whatever. I'm down for whatever.
Here. I actually have never seen either Sushi or Julia play in either.
I think this is the first event.
Let's watch some stuff.
Yeah,
all right, cool. Let's check some new stuff out.
People. See if there's anything spicy brewing up here.
Yeah, I think Sushi just joined, possibly both Discords today, like Highlander Discord and Highlander Discord.
Before.
I
think I might have seen Sushi before. I am not sure.
Possible, yeah. I think they've been in the Highlander Discord for a bit. I think they just joined the PD Discord as well, like the PD Lander Discord. So yeah, probably on a new deck. So it should be interesting. We'll see what happens. I'm down. I like seeing new decks play. Who else do we have in the tournament today? So we've got Wolfgang. They'll be on something aggro.
Yeah, likely mono red, maybe.
Yeah, every time I played Wolfgang, it's been an aggressive deck. Sometimes it was an artifact aggressive deck, but it's always been aggressive. Brahms, I think, tends to be in the mid-range spectrum.
Yeah, he's usually on the decks I've seen him on at least in this tournament have been D&T, Pod, and medium red, which is it's a fairly it's on the aggressive mid-range to the mid-range.
Yeah, well, it depends on what you draw. If you draw the fast mana, it plays at aggressive pace. If you don't, then you can kind of play a more median game plan where you just blow stuff up and then finally cast big chonkers and just kind of bomb train them off the top of your deck. It's kind of the idea. Arakasi, basically mid-rangey tempo. Blahguy, probably black-red still, but they've switched it up a bit. I think Blahguy was a madness player for a little bit, and they've been on black-red Rakdos aggressive for a while. Lucas tends to be on different decks, but they tend to be how do I put it, combo-y, like combo hybrid style decks.
Yeah. Evios we have seen quite a lot as well.
Blue-red,
Evios Blue-red moon, as we mentioned in pre-show discussion.
Mike, I don't know.
I think we've seen Mike at least. We saw him last week, I think, on Storm and the prior on the just kind of control deck. So
I think Mike switches it up, is what I'm saying. I think Mike will switch it up.
Seems like it's kind of person who might.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, and we'll be featuring both Julia and Sushi this round, who, as we mentioned,
no clue.
are a bit on the. I haven't seen them around that much recently, if at all.
Well, I think they both recently. I think they're recent joiners to the Discord.
No, I'm pretty sure. I actually think Julia's been around for a while.
No, Julia's been around for a while. She changed her name recently.
Yeah, that's all.
She has joined 10th point before. I think before we were doing things with Discord.
It may have been
before. I'm unsure.
Yeah, it may have been an MTGO thing too. Did Julia used to play in the events before season 3?
Yeah, no. She's been on MTGO.
Oh, she's played it, I think, in this season.
She used to go by Taste the Beams. So if you've seen that name around.
Oh, these nicknames kill me. I wish you just got whatever. It's fine. The nicknames kill me because I'm I don't know
people writing is important. Writing is important.
Yeah, no, I know taste. Taste. Obviously, Sui Black Skies.
yeah. She's still on the Boggy Boys list. She has not changed.
Indeed. We might be featuring some of that today. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'd not be surprised, honestly. It's right up her alley.
Where are we?
And it is kind of her brew. So.
Where are we? Who's she facing against? Sushi. Right.
Sushi, who's in Tournament Voice 4 currently.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so they are in Tournament Voice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think maybe there is.
See here? Let's see. Do we skim over anyone? Blahguy as well. Usually also on the aggressive side of the spectrum.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Rakdos. Yeah.
Ball Lightning Tribal, if you will.
Ball Lightning Tribal, as he likes to call it, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of had a lot
of lightning, all of it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a day without a ball lightning. I've luckily already gotten my fill of ball lightning, as guys making a test.
I can.
Yeah.
Turns out they're better when you have worst quality cards, apparently. Who knew?
Yeah.
Still not the best card, admittedly, but it can do the job.
I think the challenge it runs into is against decks that can gain life, resources that are diminishing or one-time effects.
Or just easily deal with it, honestly. Like,
yeah, just Erebos is commanded or whatever, moment craving it.
yeah, for example. Something like that is like especially destructive.
Such a beating. Like 3 mana? Oh, okay, I'll gain 2 and kill your thing.
Yeah. Like, at least with like that's one of the reasons, like in, for example, Highlander, you'll see a lot of people when they're on a free drop and say mono red. It'll usually be something that either makes a token immediately, like Grapple Master.
Yeah.
It'll be something that's just incredibly strong in so many matchups, like the Dinos. I can't remember the name right now.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Rampaging Frostodon?
Rampaging Frostodon, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Or something that's just really sticky, like Anax. I could even see, and I have considered playing Anax in mono red. Could definitely see that one as well.
Yeah, no, I think it's funny because I don't think a lot of folks think of like red deck wins as like having value-oriented lines of play, but in a deck that has resources that are based more around their efficiency than their independent power, having the ability to essentially acquire, literal 2-for-1s or virtual 2-for-1s, whether it be through like leaving a token behind to support your philosophy of fire to get them 20-0 as fast as possible, is obviously it's really strong. That's kind of that's one of the hallmarks of just Highlander in general. I mean, like it plays in a lot of instances like really overpowered draft, like cube draft. Hey, that's why they call it a constructed cube, right?
Yeah, like it's definitely not vintage. It at times feels like vintage because the powerful draws are definitely like up there with a decent vintage draw.
And in this event being fair, like a lot of times we don't see a ton of combo. Now that said, last week we did see Storm take it all the way down, and Storm's one of the best decks in the format. Like in my opinion, like it's just, again, it's an opinion, but oftentimes you'll see, at least in this event specifically, more like mid-rangey kind of grindy games, right? I mean that's kind of what I tend to see historically. Is
we haven't actually seen him around in quite a while, but Baylight especially used to be known for his very grindy. Mid-range,
obsessive Skinner deck.
Definitely used to be one of the people who not necessarily always putting us in time, because we don't really play with time in the same way, but definitely one of the people who could take a consistent amount of time to win the game.
I think some people
they won the game and then kill the opponent.
Yeah. Well, they're playing basically Abzan control, right? I mean, like you had cards like Quine and Abzan, which is not a common thing to see in Canadian Highlander, because oftentimes, like if you're playing against some of the tier 1 archetypes, like mid-range kind of becomes a sick man, right? It's tough to play mid-range because at the end of the day, like mid-range will tend to be challenged by either red deck wins, some sort of vault combo, whether that be Oracle or literal vault combo, or like density-based combo like Storm or Tolarian Academy, whatever. And like when you look at the 3-prong of like linear powerful decks that are out there in Canadian Highlander, it's very tough for a mid-range deck to have consistent results against all 3 of them. Generally, you have to choose which of them you want to kind of target, which also dilutes down to some extent your grindy kind of like standard mid-range game plan, because you got to play cards like Thoughtseize, Duress, and like those cards in and of themselves are 1-for-1s. They're not really high value plays, but you need to have those cards available because there are decks that'll just kill you out of nowhere with no foreknowledge of why or how you're going to die, and you just will. So I think that's one of the challenges when you're like building Abzan, typically speaking. But if you're in a really grindy format, you can build Abzan control and just go forever and play all the winding ways you want to get 3-for-1s and 2-for-1s and 4-for-1s sometimes even, But yeah, I think in general, it's tough to do that when you have decks like Storm running around, because you just got to attack their hand at some point or disrupt them in some way.
All right.
So we're ready to go?
The game finally started.
Cameras set up in the meantime.
What's that now?
We're just trying to get the camera set up, getting them...
No. They just had not started the game. They have now.
Yeah, as well.
Sweet. Let's watch some gameplay. So we're probably going to be seeing like Sui Black, because Julia has habitually played that deck. And essentially, at the end of the day, it's a very fast, aggressive deck that sacrifices in card quality for extreme amounts of tempo. Black aggressive decks in the format and really historically throughout the history of Magic, black aggressive decks have tended to struggle against red aggressive decks, which is one of the downsides of them. whether it was back in the day when folks were playing, Phyrexian Negator, or even now. And the issue being, I mean, especially with this build, like you tend to play, they play a lot of auras, like auras that are like Spinal Craft style auras, like 2 mana, deal 3 damage, make your creature just massive, right? And then we see like what is that other card there? It's a Sleeper Agent.
I'm unsure if which camera is it you just set up? Is it Sushi or Julia?
There's definitely Julia, and
That's Julia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it is on the opposite side.
Yeah. I know. Sorry, I'm fixing. I'm working on it.
We'll get there. No biggie. But yeah, is that actually literally? It's a foul imp. It's not literally a bog imp. That'd be great if it was, though.
It would be pretty good.
I don't think you get rid of the Skull Clamp. Skull Clamp seems like it's pretty good against Jund.
No, yeah, that's probably the kind of card you want to be like. They don't know the matchup, but to be fair, Skull Clamp is the kind of card that can really win the games that your random creatures just don't.
Yep. Well,
like Masters of Beast is probably the card I'd be looking at here.
To
get rid of. It's
me too. Yeah, it's too expensive. It's too expensive and it's slow. And that 1-drop's not really a 1-drop. It's kind of like a bad burn spell that like burns you back over time.
Yeah, they already put a card on the bottom.
Yeah, Courser Crewfix on the other side, which is going to be a beating. You also see Kalidas, which is going to be a beating.
Yeah.
Like this is going to be a hard matchup for Boggy Boys.
But like we mentioned, like this is definitely a format where like there's not so many unfair decks. Like there's definitely some, and when they are unfair, they're not on the heavily unfair side like Storm. They're more like on the Splinter Twin combo side of the unfair.
I don't know. You look at like Vault Oracle combo, Academy decks. I think the best unfair decks are really unfair.
No, I completely agree with you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying in this tournament, we tend to see the more fair side of the unfair decks.
Yes, I agree with that 100%. Not a lot of blue. Not as much blue.
Not so much blue. No, you're right. There's definitely some people who play their blue X tempo decks from time to time as well.
Well, blue X tempo is a lot different, like blue X control combo control, or like just blue X control.
Yeah, like
blue control,
Oracle or Time Vault.
Yeah, and blue control, like I'm not really that hot on it, especially like with the volume of like red deck wins that gets played in the event. I think mid range is probably generally a pretty safe place to be.
I agree.
What is that card?
That is
Foul Tongue Strike.
It's
the newest art of it, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it actually had the printing before that one.
Oh yeah, no, it's an older card.
Yeah, it was in Dragons of that kid.
Yeah.
Same art though. What is the hint though?
Is it the same art? I thought it was different art. Maybe it's the frame is different now. I don't know. It just looked.
Library not going to do much unless they really need to find more land, additional land. Could help.
Yeah, I mean, right now they're not under a lot of pressure though, right? I mean, they're under pressure from this Sleeper Age. I mean.
Yeah, but they're also racing with them. So like.
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't think the library is the worst draw in the world. You'd rather have a land there for sure, but I mean, it's going to help.
So this is interesting. You probably just cracked the Scourge here to draw 2. Just get your 2 mana, 2 life, Divination.
I assume that's what they're going to do, but I don't honestly know that that's correct. I mean, you do have them on the ropes right now. I don't know. Like Clamp is really awkward in like these style of decks too, right? I mean, because like it's very much so about timing because like you do need to be pushing damage, and if you're not pushing damage, you're just drawing cards. Like their cards are better than yours.
Especially as long as you have X-Wings that you that don't really have a sort of like.
I like it more once you get down to like 6 or 7 life, and like you just can't attack through their board. I like doing it then.
Skull Clamp is definitely not the kind of card you play because like, oh god, it's gonna kill them. It's the kind of card you draw like. Oh, we're both in top deck wars there, and I guess I'll just win by playing Skull Clamp and getting infinite value. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So you're gonna see the big
demon. Interesting. We do see the Massacre down here. Currently no answer to it in Hand of Sushi, but Sushi does have the ability to draw an additional card from the Master. Look at a bunch of cards from Sylvan Library.
Yeah, my guess
they need to. That's a deed in hand.
They're going to look. Actually, 6 is an interesting number, right? Because I think they're going to have to take 6 and then play this deed out. And if they're OP Vampiric Tutors for Careback Spite, they can just win the game.
Plus, they are going to be taking damage from the agents as well, actually.
Yeah. Do you think you opt to Mind Twist here, or do you think you opt to get out your life gain in the form of Courser?
I do not think you care for the Mind Twist right now. I think you.
I don't like it either.
Deal with the Herald. That's when you're at 9 and you're facing.
No, you're literally dead to the.
6.
I think they're actually like probably dead here.
I think does Sleep Agent pop you for 2 or 3? I can't remember.
2 every turn. That's why their life totals are even. It's 1 less than it does damage, so it's really a card you need to race with. But I think depending on how they play this, if they play it how I would probably play this, I think they're gonna die. And I think I would keep the land and put the other 2 cards back on top. I don't think I try to twist them here. But yeah, because they'll get hit for 6. And
Yeah,
then
no, you can't really realistically. Like, if they had another land, no, it just makes sense to play the.
they can also play Kalidas.
Kalidas here. Yeah.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, it's
Just
reasonable.
go. Yeah, and they're probably gonna end up dying.
The only issue is Kalidas doesn't really race this card, right?
No, but he just give you a chance to like do that, and then hopefully, I don't know, cause and just try and just gain more life than you're losing consistently.
Yeah. No, if they play the Kalidas
you're going down to 8 because you're playing something with that green soul lightly, unless you really want to play the deed because you're scared. I could see that as well.
Yeah, actually, Fruit of Tizarus would actually kill them at this point too. I think they're probably running that. There's the deed that can blow up the clamp, but that's still gonna.
There's a surprising amount of like black burn spells that do a decent amount of damage. Like,
all right, so yeah,
cards.
No, there are, but they're not as many obviously as red.
Oh,
they're
interesting.
More,
just cracking it for 1.
Here we go. Yep. Here's the Caravax Spite, I assume. And hopefully they allow them to cast it. I mean,
Absolutely.
I guess they're probably.
It's got to be Caravax Spite, if nothing else. Just for style points.
You could do Soul Spike, but you're a card off from casting Soul
Or
Spike.
Tyrant's Choice.
Tyrant's Choice would do it too. But Caravax Spite's just sweet, so I mean, you should do that. I mean, like,
absolutely, I'm 100% with you there.
You know, like you guys have sent a message, like you're not playing against blue.
You get Ginterbrood and then use Foul Tongue Shriek.
Well, could you could if they're playing Ginterbrood?
That'd be style points.
It would be. But yeah, there's very few cards.
Many people can say I died to Foul Tongue Shriek. No, we have the Caravax Spite there.
Yeah. That's the one that I was like lining up in my head. I'm like, if they don't, if they make the play that I would make, which is to try to set up for later turns, then they're probably going to die to the spike.
You just kind of kept a slow hand and didn't do much.
Yeah, a lot of tap lands.
Needed to, like,
a lot of tap lands and no kill spells, really. I mean,
they only even had like 2 lands initially, didn't it? But it did have 3.
Correct, yeah. So, yep, there's the spite.
So like, what is happening? That addition of green souls for the closer.
Seeing Smoldering Marsh is interesting. You don't often see those lands.
No,
unless they're on like a land style deck, maybe. But like, I'm not a huge fan of them.
You're thinking like what's it called? The new Field of Dead. Is that what you're thinking? Perhaps.
No. The card they were playing, the cycling land that comes to play tap, the black-red land, Smoldering Marsh.
I don't think that's cycling land. That's I believe that's.
It may have been just a tap check land for basics.
I believe it's the one that checks for 2 basics.
Okay. Yeah, then I was just incorrect.
It's a tangle land, or whatever, whatever you hold it.
Yeah. Okay, so this is an interesting hand for Sushi. Like these are 2 really great cards against Julia. But it's also just 5 lands, which admittedly one is tried up, but still.
I'd keep it.
Yeah, I'd keep it as well.
Your mid-range, you depend on the power
you'll draw into some removal spells and some threats. Like, that's not what you're worried about.
Yeah. Although that Avatar of Discord could just go all the way. And there's also a Smuggler's Copter, which is a spooky card.
There's just a bunch of 2/1 flyers. So, like, the way that Julia has built her version of Suicide Black, that she likes to call Bois, she's built it very much with, like, the mindset of a lot of evasive threat stuff. Creatures with fear, flying, intimidate, etc., etc. Menace, perhaps even.
Yeah, no, just unblockable stuff.
Yeah.
The issue it runs into is they're just not as efficient, is kind of my issue.
Yeah, they are definitely not as efficient as, like, when you're playing a 1-mana 1/1 instead of 1-mana 2/2 or 2/1. You're really just slowing down yourself at the price of
on the clock significantly.
Random blockers.
Yeah, and like you were saying, the volume of burn, I think, like when you get into board stalls, you basically suicide attack, part of the deck's naming convention as well. And
general disregard for anything but the opponent's life at all.
Well, you have a lot of that burn now too, right? You also have cards like what's that stupid thing called? Can't think of it. The card where you sack, it's a 5-mana spell, and you sack a creature, and everything gets +2/+0 until end of turn. That card. It's great. I've killed a lot of people with that card.
Massacre, is it?
No, Massacre is the one that ranches you. No, I forget. It's
Flight.
a card. No.
What is it? Something? Is the one with the flying skin flavor text?
It's the one where like, there's a dude holding like some goblin by its head and its body's all like
I
desiccated.
don't think that's the one I'm
Much
thinking
cheering
of.
people. Yeah.
The one about flame
Oh
skin
yeah,
is
we had an
hated.
interesting choice here. You can go Ooze Dryapper, Ooze Guile. I could see a Ooze Guile here.
Ooze. Yeah, just get the ooze down.
Yeah.
Start pressuring.
I do quite like getting the Guile down as well. Like you just want to draw into something
Yeah.
immediately. Hatred, yes.
I don't like Guile, period, but if you're
That's
gonna
what I
run it, you get it down now for sure. And the one cool thing about both these cards, they do kind of mitigate Smuggler's Copter, because if you're discarding creatures, you're kind of just incidentally gaining them life and like building up their threats, which is a downside for sure.
Yeah, we are seeing Julia still doesn't really have the draw, like the third and fourth land that she's probably going to be wanting to go out efficiently.
Yeah, and the deck's really
Not
low.
chance to.
Is really low land count deck.
Makes
I think they're
sense.
probably 24 to 26,
Yeah,
maybe 28.
I really like playing the Smuggler's Copter here. That allows you to play a 1-drop, crew it, attack in, get another chance of finding the third land next turn, and then play
Yeah,
2-drop.
two drop down. Yeah. No, I think Smuggler's Copter was always the play here. The question is going to be, if they draw land, is it going to be the Avatar, or are they going to look to set up two?
I do not remember. It's Avatar, discard 2 cards.
Discard 2 cards, yeah. And if you don't, you sack it.
I think I'm a bigger fan of just playing. Actually, no, that does increase the clock by a good bit.
Yeah, it's a 5/3. It's a big boy. It's a large
It does
lad.
leave you very vulnerable to like the fact that you should at this point realize you're up against some sort of junt deck.
Yeah, and it's also got an ooze in play, so you're probably discarding some number of creatures because you have more creatures in hand, you know. So I don't know. I think I would probably play two drops, like a 1-drop and a 2-drop over.
Yeah, 1 to 2, and then hope to maybe go 2/2, and just at some point try. I don't. Is Avatar additional cost? I don't think it is.
No, it's an enter the battlefield trigger.
Yeah,
exactly. So I think you just want to try and see if you can slam that if you want to be greedy, and I think you can be greedy like depending on like what you see this turn.
I think I would look to expand horizontally because against independent point removal spells, it's better.
Exactly, that's what I agree with. Yeah. Like I just think you want to put down as many threats because
not attacking with the Deathrite Shaman is interesting to me. I think I would have just gotten in there.
Yeah, like Black isn't exactly known for the hastes. Like against mono red, I could see an argument.
You actually have a significant number when you start breaking it down. You have like Mogis' Marauder, you have the 2 dash cards, the 5/3 Pitiless Horde, and then like the other one.
I don't think you have none by no means.
Yeah. You actually have more than you think. But not a ton.
And depending on
Sushi's War here, which acts as a haste critter.
Depending on Sushi's knowledge of this is interesting. Julia actually discards the Boggart here.
Yeah, I think this may be another spite game. I think we may be looking at a spite setup here. I mean,
I could definitely see that. Oh, yeah, we're seeing the Avatar come down here.
I figured there was a chance the line they'd go for.
Yeah, likely you're just going to see that discard of the 2 worst flyers. Then see a flyer.
Yeah, if Sushi did not get a removal spell off the top, I assume they don't have one. Because I think I don't mind this line when they play Ramadap Excavator, because Ramadap Excavator's a setup card. It's a slow setup card.
Yeah. According to my count here, that's next turn. That's going to be what 9 damage, then plus the spite the following turn. That's a pretty decent chance of having lethal in 2 turns, depending on what
Ooze is able to do here, and like they can gain life off the DRS. They are only of note at 1 green mana right now, so that is obviously problematic to an extent. Any fetch land they find, which would turn on the Ramadap Excavator, is going to come at the cost of some
they chose to like multiple times. It ended up being a bit awkward because like first they exiled their land, and then they drew a Mirror's Guile, punishing playing the fetch, and now exiling it just made their Excavator just a bit worse.
Yeah, I just think Mirror's Guile is not a card I really, I am high on. Some people are.
No.
I know like some folks have played it in the Rock. I think Allison historically has really supported the card in the Rock. I'm not a huge fan of it. I try to play more good stuff.
Oh, we do find the fetch. That's actually pretty nice.
Yep.
Not optimal. Maybe a removal spell have been better here for the Avatar, but it's not bad.
I don't know if remove. I mean, like you need to develop your mana base too. I mean, getting more green mana down is.
I'm 100% there with you. But you could at least play the Dry Apple then in that case. That's still going to give you green mana.
Are you looking to feed the creatures in Julia's graveyard to your Deathrite Shaman or to your Skoos here?
My Skoos, initially at least. Maybe like until it's like a 4/4, I'd like to get it to at least.
One of the best ways to
Maybe
beat
even
Suey
more.
Black is to just beat them down because
Yeah,
their
they
cards
take
do a lot
they
of
take
damage
a fair bit of
themselves.
damage from some of their own cards.
They
Like,
do, yeah.
not just discarding, just damage as well. Like,
You just want to kill them. That's why Red Deck Wins is so good against them because their Red Deck Wins removal is also kind of a threat, and it does deal pretty cleanly with all of
yeah,
the
and like
Suey Black
even
threats, and they just kill you
yeah,
fast.
and Red Deck Wins just has removal, and you just say 2 for 1 constantly. Like,
Yep.
Arc Bolt, Arc Trail, that kind of stuff. That'll just 2 for 1 you. Definitely one of the last matchups you want to be seeing if you're on Suey Black is probably Mono Black on the other side of the table.
Now, I don't like doing this right now. I actually like just playing out the 2-1 and attacking and seeing what you get, and then doing this EOT.
Yeah,
you
then
have
leave it
lethal
EOT.
next turn. Yeah, you have lethal next turn still, I think, regardless through this. And you're probably not going to die to the board, so why go to 12
There's
here?
a chance of depending, like...
What are you getting with this?
Let's presume they activate the Depth Rush I'm getting too.
They could just get a removal spell for the ooze.
Yeah, of course, like... Absolutely. That might actually make a lot of sense. I wouldn't be surprised to see that.
I try to kill them. I just go for the spite again. I do an EOT on their turn and try to spite kill them.
Oh, yeah.
Personally, but...
Yeah, like, you're not going to win the long game here. You have an opponent who's, like... Oh, what?
Alrighty.
That is what neither of us expected.
Get big. Maybe they think this is more of a race than I think it is. I think, yeah.
I'm all right.
They know they don't have a removal spell, right?
Yeah,
so,
like, you would have seen the removal spell at this point, probably.
They might be worried about getting killed in the next turn. I don't think I'm worried about getting killed on the next turn, personally.
No,
I think I'm
like, what, you take, what, 6, 7?
So, there's 1 critter. Well, I take 2 here, right? So, they're down to 10 plus whatever this is. This is huge lifelink. It's 8 lifelink. So, they're up to 20, essentially, down to 18. They get rid of the Jin, which is going to make the ooze bigger, and also gain 1 incremental life.
I'm cutting 10 damage from Sushi now that they discarded a creature as well. Like,
yeah, I mean, they're still dead the next turn. They're still dead next turn, right? Because I mean,
Absolutely.
they can't gain enough, to get out of this at the moment.
Yeah.
So they need to find a
you have the option to like dig even further now that you have to shuffle.
But the thing that gets me is if you do find a kill spell here for the Avatar, like where does that leave you as the Suey Black player? You're at 20 life, but they still have an ooze on board.
Yeah.
And you have
the best you can you can go to 8. They can hit you for 9 currently. So yeah. You definitely need a removal spell or life gain of some sort.
Yeah.
Or Blahguy, even if you can find that somehow.
Well, they'll fly, so I mean I don't know how many Jund flyers they're gonna be. I mean there could be some,
Yeah.
Play Blazing Specter, be like
mid-range
Highlander.
stakes. Yeah. They usually don't have any of the flyers that you might see in, say, medium red or such.
No, Arasta could be a card. Arasta is a really good card against this version of Suey.
Yeah, Grotesque Mutation, not a card that either of us expected to see. Dreadboard, that's definitely a great pick up there. Deal with the creature, eat some creatures, swing in for a bunch.
Yep.
Put up lethal next turn, basically.
Not a bad one.
They want to keep staying back a bit.
This is 4 damage going in.
This is what you're saying, like, right? Like, if they kept the Dreadboard here, the Kelvin Spite, had a creature more in play, hit for 1 more, yeah, they wouldn't have hit for the 3, so that'd be a difference. They'd be at 2 more right now. They'd be able to gain at most 3 more, going to.
Well, here's my thing, right? Like, I'm not saying you per se go for Karavak Spite. I'm just saying save it till the end of their turn because they are.
Oh yeah, I'm 100% on you.
And then just vamp at the end of their turn as opposed to like trying to go for like as much damage as you possibly on that turn if it's
like
not
you have
lethal.
cards to play, like that. The what even that Siren Call, the Harpy.
Oh, before we keep going, I have a question for our viewers, which is like last week, we were told that Gosmith was hard to hear. I was wondering if that was still the case, or if the audio levels are doing fine. Just making sure that everybody can be heard, because it's easy for me to fix them if I know that there's something wrong, but it's easier if I know that there's something wrong. So just asking people. Please, you may now resume commentary.
So here's my big question: do you look to block this turn? Like, because I think you need to block this turn.
You're thinking jumping with the 1/1.
Yeah, I don't think you can attack there because you take 2 down to 11, 2 down to 9,
4, 5, 6, 7.
And lethal's on board.
7, yeah, it's definitely lethal. Like, yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Exactly 0. And
yeah, like look at this. You're now putting yourself to dead on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think keeping the 1/1 back just to jump the ooze, and then
You have
putting
to.
a,
You have to.
and then having a decent chance to like just swinging back for lethal.
Yep.
Depending on what your opponent does.
Yep. No, this is a game that I think I don't know if it was going to be won, but I think if you look to the deciding factor in this game, in my opinion, from a play perspective, comes down to that vamp tutor and how you use the vamp tutor.
100% agree with you on that one.
Yeah, everything else, I mean, you kind of just had to do. I think. I mean, well, the Avatar of Discord line was also interesting because, like, you could
I
opt to play
was not big another one either.
Yeah, I can get it though. I can understand it. Like, at that point they probably don't have removal, right? So I can see it.
Yeah, we're just gonna see
They may
here.
have missed the fact that they have lethal.
Oh, they did not activate the Death Ride actually.
No, and they didn't activate the ooze either. EOT to eat some more of those critters and get it bigger. And they had lethal in a couple ways. So,
actually interesting.
Yeah, I think they may have just missed it. That they actually
7,
get them to
8,
-2 or
9,
something.
10. Yeah, they're actually they're one of lethal now actually because of that.
Yeah. So that is that's unfortunate.
I might actually lose them the game.
Yeah, it could.
They're gonna be taking 5 in the air because of that.
They're taking 6 in the air. I mean, they don't know it yet, but they're taking 6.
How's it 6? Oh yeah, right. Play a creature and activate. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to expect to take at least 5, if not, as you mentioned, 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And right now, I mean, they can stay above. They can get to 6 because they can use DRS to exile one of the critters. Are there enough critters? There are enough critters. No, there are not enough critters.
But like, why didn't we see a Death Ray Shaman activation at a turn? Like, I can completely understand if they were like,
yeah, just a player. I mean, it is what it is. A player. I'm gonna believe it. Yeah.
You misclick for a step you didn't intend to click through.
Yep. For sure.
Click on the wrong card. Forget something. It happens.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's kind of one of the appeals of the format too. Like, it's like you get some like high level combo decks where like you have a very complex Rubik's Cube, and then you have some like pretty standard like you'll see in draft like race style situations like this where like you need to actually sit back and do a little bit of math, and take a look at it. Because I do think they were pretty well positioned to not die to this. Now they can still find a fatal push or something off this. So I mean, it's not.
Notably, they can actually choose to exile their own graveyard, and I think they're going to do that actually.
There's
not exactly enough here because you're 1 mana off beautifying something here.
Even then, you're not. You could shock and go to 1.
Oh yeah, you can take the Verdant Catacomb and
cast it with the DRS.
I thought they play land, to be honest.
There is no land in any graveyard. Oh no, the fetch land is gonna be in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I think they had lethal. If that's no, wait, no, they were 1 mana off. No, 1 mana off lethal then, I think.
No, there's not lethal on board right now.
Wait, how many creatures were in the graveyard?
2.
Was 2? Oh, 2. Yeah.
No, one. I'm sorry, 1. The other one was a grotesque mutation. There was 1.
Yeah.
It was the fledgling Jin, I want to say.
Yeah, but it's always kind of hard to, especially if you find out or realize afterwards that you missed lethal or some such. Like that's always going to be painful.
Nah, I look at it this way, right? It's a growing moment. I mean, it's just
absolutely
you grow from it, or you don't. I mean, I don't want to get upset about it. I mean, I'm not saying with any vindication. Just it happens. We all make misplays.
You grow, you don't. That's not my choice.
Well, it's not, right? I mean, like I can't take accountability for that. I can just be as non-biased as possible and offer input into gameplay as I see it. That's also pretty goddamn lethal. It helps up the damage by 3. So yeah. Yep. So there's this.
We're just gonna see. Oh, even the foul tongue shriek here.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So that's 3 additional
so
damage.
We see Julia and Sushi both arguably make a mistake here, and they just end up canceling each other out.
Well, the mistake right now would have to be not attacking.
We might see a third mistake. Yeah, but I was thinking the fact that you didn't keep a creature back to jump because you were seeing.
Yeah. I mean, I think you were supposed to do it, but I mean, like, I don't know. Honestly, maybe if you think you're that goddamn dead, anyways, to the board state going wrong, maybe you just go for it and hope they miss it. But I mean,
that is a valid argument, and I have gone for those plays before. Like, just going like
maybe you'll miss it.
Please don't block because you're scared of something you shouldn't be.
Yeah. Because I mean, again, at the end of the day, it is an aggro deck, and it relies, on killing folks rapidly. See, arguably, like
another. See BigGayJulia go 2-0 here. I'm not seeing.
There is no
anything.
way. There's no way to do anything here. You don't have any creatures in the bin to.
Nope.
to
And even then,
go...
you don't have the mana to gain
Nope.
as much life as you want.
Nope. You just go to -1 as opposed to whatever it was going to be. Plus, the Shrike was obviously a good draw. Anyways, pretty cool game we saw there between Jund and Boggy Bois. Interesting to say the least. I do think that like decks like Jund's, Abzan are gonna, in general, like if they get outside of turn 4 and they're not just dead to the board, like be in pretty good spot against that deck. You have like tools like Toxic Deluge, even just like Lightning Bolt is really good against small creature decks like Sui, especially ones that are playing like aura type effects or equipment, all that. So, who do we got next, Red Mage? Who's still going?
Good question. Let's check. So we have Baylight printed and dreadful in this channel somehow. But outside of that, was that the last match?
Oh, Baylight's playing Penny Dreadful?
Yeah.
Remember trade?
Yeah, I don't know, right? Like, this is crazy. I think that was actually the last match going on. Now that I'm looking at it.
Oh, really? Must have a lot of 2-0s because that was a fairly quick game.
Yeah, that didn't take long. Yeah.
It may have been because we were taking longer to get set up. That could have been it.
Yeah, they set up did take a while. We had new players. It was.
I can also just imagine, like, based on what I've been seeing, like today, I think there's actually a fair bit of people who are either playing actual aggro decks or fairly aggressive-ish decks. So I can imagine like having a lot. If we just get like the case where like all of the games have at least one aggro deck in it, that can definitely speed up around a lot.
Yeah.
For the record, I did fix the next poll command since Goldsmith jumped the gun earlier, but now it's fixed, so now it's points at the right poll for next week. I made one.
Hey, I'd rather have to pull someone's chain than push him up a hill. You know what I mean? Goldsmith getting in there.
Yeah. No. I appreciate Goldsmith's zeal. Let's see.
You
don't want to ask me to do it. I'll fuck it up. I'll be like, I'll be putting exclamation points and like.
Please, I've already fucked it up.
Yeah.
How much worse can you do?
Yeah, I learned to play this silly game with little cards. It's kind of funny. It comes to computers, just get banned, bud. I don't know.
Just ban them all. Just how to be a mob, ban them all. Done. Now nothing go wrong.
Yeah.
Solid logic here.
So I'm curious to see how round 1 went as far as results go.
So I'm just gonna go through the results here. So let's find them quickly. So where are they?
So for the record, my stance for today, since we have 10 people, is we are going to have 3 rounds unless there is 2 undefeated people at the end of round 3, and then we're gonna have the 4th round. That is I think how I'm gonna do. If we still have a tie at the end of round 3, we're gonna deal with it. But if we don't, we're gonna stop after round 3. I think that's a reasonable way of handling it.
No, I agree. If I'm in a spot where I'm undefeated and someone else is, I'd rather fight it out than have it go to points.
Yeah. So as far as I can see, round 1 went 2-0 in favor of Wolfgang to Brahms. 2-1 Mike to Kelvin.
Mm-hmm.
Blahguy won 2-1, not too surprisingly, against Arakasi in I think in Arakasi's words, a horrible matchup. Evios went 2-0 against Luca, and we saw the Julia 2-0 against Sushi.
Okay.
So let's see, what do we have for this round? We have Wolf against Julia, Blahguy against Evios. I think that might be interesting. Mike against Arakasi. I wouldn't mind seeing Mike against Arakasi, to be honest. Because I feel like
but it's.
I imagine I know the Blahguy Evios matchup a bit. That's the reasoning why.
Yeah, but it's a classic, right? And I think it's interesting, right? Because Blahguy doesn't go as fast as other human beings. Evios's Blue Moon list is probably.
You know what's really good against ball lightning effects?
Lightning bolt, yeah.
Yeah, burn
cheap
spells.
removal in general at instant speed.
Instant speed removal. Yeah, let's check that one out. I think it could be interesting. It could either be a really long game or a really short one. I mean, it's gonna go one way or the other.
Yeah, we're just gonna get a hand cast it up here in the meantime.
Sure.
We're working on it, but until then, so we have Evios and Blahguy, as we mentioned, on a respectively blue-red moon, a blue-red controlling deck that plays both the aforementioned Blood Moon, Back to Basics, and uses that to deny greedy mana bases, while still having a solid value game plan.
Which is
as well
kind of
as
interesting, right? Because like one of the downsides to playing a double color aggro deck is that like you can lose to mana denial, and you can also lose to price of progress, which I believe they're also playing in that deck. But
Yes, I do.
you
As
know,
a rule of thumb, I do agree that Prize is still the correct card to play in that deck, 100%. Like that card is just so good that even if you're an aggro deck and I'd even consider it like a free color perhaps. That might be a bit stretching it. Probably because you're using your points differently then at that point.
Well, or if you're like on a very specific budget and you don't have as many dual lands,
too,
you
yeah.
can possibly get away with
I think if you're on a free color deck and on a budget, you're probably gonna have a tough time, especially if it's aggro.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't be playing 3 colors.
Yeah, if I think
budget,
in general,
play a 1 or 2
as a
color
rule
deck.
of thumb, if you're playing aggro on a budget, just honestly stick to one color.
Play red or
is
play
really
white.
not worth it. Yeah, play red, play white, maybe black.
Yeah, don't play black. I mean, I look. I'm gonna tell you right now. Like Gosmit probably knows some of the history with me in mono black aggressive decks. Like I've built a lot of them. Matter of fact, I beat a red deck with an aggressive black deck. I mean, it was mid-range. I won. I cheated. I'm a cheater, yeah, because I played Kalidas and Phyrexian Obliterator in my deck. My point's this: like, I don't think I was strategically advantaged in that. I think I just, I built my deck to beat that style of deck. Honestly, to the chagrin of that deck, probably overall, is a quality deck, and it still wasn't a good matchup. It was still a bad matchup, right? So it's like you're playing black aggressive decks, like just unless you really want to do it, which I mean, I just want to do it. I want to see if it can be done.
Yeah,
I did it, but typically speaking, just play red aggro or white aggro. They're better.
So we're just seeing like a fairly standard to one cantrip.
Yeah.
From Evios here. Hand cams currently are switched.
That said, that land was a really good draw for Blahguy. They kept a very land light hand.
Yeah, having the 2 lands you need for your 2 CMZ hand, definitely useful.
That Sweltering Sun
is really good as well.
The thing that's going to be interesting is to see how they sequence out.
Yeah, I can see. Oh, they're gonna slide up hand and then.
Which I do tend to think I like saving this Fork Bull. I do tend to think it's going to incentivize the
Wasteland. We might actually see. Yeah, we're probably going to see a Wasteland and possibly I presume the Vampire. I'd probably prefer to play Vampire here. I can see the Inquisition as well.
I would have thought Smuggler's Copter would be the play, to be frank with you, but
no, I personally quite like the Wasteland play here actually.
Okay. I just think after someone who
you saw your opponent didn't answer your creatures, you probably feel safe about it, and you're still
they cantrip twice. They've cantrip twice. They got lands. My going in assumption.
Oh yeah, like this isn't a try and deny your opponents the lands. This is a temper them down because they clearly didn't do something, so they probably have some more expensive cards in hand.
No, this is gonna get countered. I actually don't like playing. I like doing this. If you're gonna take this line of play, I like Inquisitioning over playing the other threat. Personally, and yeah, you're gonna pierce this.
Oh, you prefer playing the Inquisition?
If you're gonna make this line of play, yes, much more so.
Yeah,
I personally would have done either.
Weavers in hand for.
I would have just played out my threat. I'm sorry, I would have played out my Smuggler's Copter into 1 mana, and I would have gotten Spell Pierced or Spell Snared. But I think you got to make him have it there. I think you're.
Do you think it says anything that you see the mountain here instead of an island? Do you think that's any tell at all from Evios?
No. I mean, it could just be what land they had in hand. I mean, to me, it may signal that like maybe they don't have another red source, but like I also know they're on Blue Moon with probably more of a creature-based denial strategy because of the metagame, and double red is necessary for casting a lot of spells like Sweltering Suns, i.e., that's in hand. Cards like that, or like Fiery Confluence, another card that just batters this deck.
Absolutely.
But yeah, they're on 4 cards. I wastelanded them. I mean, they've cantripped twice.
One card in the hand that is actually really good in this matchup is Scrap Heat Scrounger. That is a card that can just keep on coming.
Yep.
As well as we mentioned, the Copter as well, because none of the removal in Evios' hand deals with a Copter. You have to deal with the creatures, which...
No, but I think what you're going to see happen here is they're either going to Smuggler's Copter or they're going to Thoughtseize plus Vampire Lacerator.
Yeah. I think both of those lines will play out just fine.
Yeah, and I think they're probably incentivized to cast out the Lacerator plus the Thoughtseize.
Yeah, especially because they just counter your Inquisition. That
Mhm.
likely means that they have something of note.
Question
Like,
is,
to
what do
be
you take?
fair, they probably spell pierce you either way, unless they
They
have
could want to
literally
blow
nothing.
up. They could want to spell or searing spear this Jace. I mean, you block here. I think.
Yeah, like
You know, 1 damage burn spells are not that common. I mean, they could
I
have
don't
like
think you're
a
that
lava
scared of the
dart.
Jade right now.
Well, you're not scared of lava dart either. It's like you got lava dart, you got my Jace. Cool.
So
Simply out the
I
artifact.
don't think Blahguy is actually playing that much burn in his list. I think that's been a pretty common
Might not
denominator. I
be.
think it's mostly just chain lightning, lightning bolt, lightning spear effects.
Hmm.
That's mostly it, actually. Maybe like Arc Trail, Fog Bolt. Doesn't play a lot of the shocks. Understandably, you're already in 2 colors. You can play better cards at this point, usually.
Didn't find the land, which is probably disappointing.
Probably, yeah.
Now, what
Like,
I'm curious about is you probably just flashback. Yeah, you're preordained. Try to find a land drop.
Yeah.
Because your
Yeah,
mana
like that.
development is going to be important. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is a fine point to just go Fog Bolt. If you don't find a land, you do find a land. Maybe just play your own Pyro then.
You're.
What do you like? Would you prefer to Fog Bolt just instead? I guess it's kind of awkward when you have the double sweeper hand,
Yeah.
but I think that's fine.
is.
I think Electrolytes can help carry you through that for a while,
Sure.
personally. As well as Jace.
Yeah.
Again, Jace is,
I mean,
Jace
it also
is
forces them to.
possibly
Well,
fine.
now we know they have 2 1-drops. I mean, so they probably play 1-drop and Thoughtseize.
Yeah.
And then like their take is probably going to be
likely
electrolytes.
the order, as that one firstly doesn't ping you for 1, and it just grows bigger when you hit them with the copter.
Sure. I think you take
Especially
the
now that you're gonna
electrolyzer.
know that there's not gonna be. I don't remember. Is it 1 or 2 plus 1? It's just 1 counter, right? 2
One
doesn't
counter,
seem to
one
represent.
counter each
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know that they can't kill it with the. The only card that can kill it right now is the Sweltering Suns. So I could see taking the Sweltering Suns.
No, I think you take electrolyze. It's card
Yeah,
advantage.
it's one of those two definitely. Like you're not taking the Rumble. What is it called?
That's
Subterranean.
Training Tremors. Yeah. But that does actually kill the vampire as well.
It just killed the vampire. No, which one of them?
Either.
No, it doesn't actually kill the ladder currently, as it does become a 2/3.
I don't think it's enough damage, right? Because you have to do 4, right? That was only 3 damage on board.
No, you only have to do 3 actually.
Are you sure?
That's why I think playing. I'm pretty sure. None of the
I think it's 4, buddy.
Let us check.
It's 4. It's 4.
Well, that's last area. Yeah, it's 4.
It is 4. Fair enough. I did miscount that. Then it does
It's
make
alright.
sense to make the slot take this line play. I think.
What do you think of that line? I kind of like discarding the 3/2 that comes back for free. I think I'd save the rest.
I think both have its merits. I think I actually, considering you're in a case where you just want to be coming out with a cheap cards right now, I think it's fine to keep the Scrounger in hand. You can always discard the Scrounger. That said, if you do find land, one of the best ways to come back from double sweepers is just spamming a Rebel Master.
That's what I'm saying. I think you ditch the card that can come back for free. Basically, not for free, but you know what I mean. Like come back and bin. Easily.
In a way, you're only just cutting half a card.
Yeah, that's one of the issues with Blue
Something like
Moon
that.
is it does not have
Doesn't have much to deal with graveyard now.
no. It just kind of gets beat up by graveyards.
I don't even think they play much in the way of the like rules spells that like exile creature.
No, that's why one of the rough matchups can actually be like if you don't get a moon effect down, you can have some issues with lands.
Yeah,
unless
like
you have
seeing
a
the marks
forcing
here,
issue.
like you still probably wouldn't have played it. I think you just like knowing their hand mostly, Searing Spear and play the 1-drop.
Yeah, you
Actually,
Searing
no, you
Spear
don't.
and you grow your threat.
Do you even play the 1-drop? Considering that
You know it's gonna get swept.
yeah, maybe not actually.
Force their hand on it, you know. I don't mind forcing their hand on it.
In that case, I think if you don't want to be, I think if you don't, then you don't kill the young Pyro. Actually, you just swing with both of them. If they trade, that means they want to sweep. And if they don't, well, they're taking 5, and now they're gonna have to kill the young Pyro.
I just can't help thinking how much better position you're in here if you have Rabble Master in hand in the.
No, I agree with that one, especially because like you basically knew like you had something to do next turn.
Yeah, you knew every card in their hand with the exception of 1.
Depending on what they draw, unless they draw like a land. Oh, actually, Strip Mine is great here. I think you discard the Scrounger, play the Strip Mine, hit the land, just to make it real awkward.
No, Wasteland Strip Mine, pretty rough.
Yep, especially when they're on the especially now.
Discarding Scrap Heap Scrounger to Smuggler Sculptor is something you do in standard for a limited period of time. I've done it multiple times.
Yeah, Marching Vehicles was a real deck, apparently. I didn't play at that time, admittedly.
I mean,
I see a face right now to grow the one Idjit to a 2/3. I mean,
wow, that's a pretty big land, but not a red source for the Sweltering Zones, which is fine. But I think you're just gonna. Oh, we're just gonna see the concede here.
yeah, I don't think they had to go that route yet, but I mean, they have 6
No,
power
I
on
think
board next
definitely
turn.
still had a.
They had 6 power on board.
Yeah, I would probably just play land and Tremors and see if I could go back into the game at that point.
Yeah, the issue is, I mean, they're going to bring back their 3/2, so they already know they have a critter.
True, but like Macap Experiments is definitely.
I would have played it out. I don't disagree with you, but I don't think they were in a great spot. The double mana beast denial is pretty rough.
Point. Yeah. So we're gonna see a bit of a slower hand for Blahguy. I'm being proven a bit wrong. He does actually play at least one shock effect in Wild Slash.
Yeah,
that is the best shock effect.
Yeah, Evios just with the two win cons, including Finger Eyes, which is just great at stalling, as well as double remove.
Yeah, and it also just
looking really strong
fucking
here.
Dead. It also just kills you dead. I mean, that's the biggest thing with the card.
This is curious. Choosing to play another blue source instead of playing, say, getting a blue-red source so they can have double remove.
No, I like it. I like it because their opponent didn't do anything on the first turn. So if they have a waste
expect to see double body now. Like the first turn, you're probably gonna see 2 bodies at most. Would be like turn 3, like Rabble Master, like we've seen hand, or the War Boss.
You actually don't want to bounce some of those 3 drops though. I do not like that card. I'm not a fan of that one. Fast as an intervention, it's too goddamn slow.
I think
it's a cool card.
Fine.
Yeah.
I think you have too much. Here. Like it's very versatile.
Not like the money here. I like just getting pressure down.
Yeah, I can see that. They can be worried about counter magic
because they're pretty.
I don't mind strip play my 2-drop. I don't mind that.
No, I don't hate it.
Take them off red mana, or you could try to like take them off.
I think the main argument is taking the red mana away.
Yeah, and hoping to get lucky.
Yeah,
like this card
already. Finger Eyes is a hell of a magic card against these decks if they don't have the answer.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage. It's real hard to kill.
Actually, I think this is incorrect. I think you should play the creature first, attack, because you do have the Wild Slash in hand. It's a bit risky, but you could try and see if you can get them.
Oh no, I like that line. I think I just play it and try to attack them. I agree with you 100% on that.
Yeah, we're just gonna see Evios just keep up a bunch of counter spells here.
Yeah. Well, really only one.
Possibly even, and I'm not against this using the passive intervention just to dig one card, because that land is pretty big when you have the Jays in hand. I'm fine with not doing it as well, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen.
Yeah.
Bit of an awkward cycle, admittedly, but still, a cycle is a cycle.
I think we'll see an attack here first this time, so making the play that tries to eat this thing in the ice first.
Absolutely.
And they're going to get got by it. Oh, they're not, because they can cast Fastest Intervention to miscalc this. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't work. So they're actually just, they're in some trouble here. They could be bolting it in response. That'd be hilarious. They bolted it in middle of combat.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh, that's such a ranching.
No.
Oh my goodness, it's a ranching.
You don't do that. You don't do that.
So now they made the line real easy. Like, oh, okay, cool.
Well, I was going to do it anyways, but thank you kindly.
Yeah, I don't know if they were going to per se do that. They may have just been fetching to cast the Fastest Intervention to see what their options were. I don't know why you do it there.
I think you wait to do that at least.
And 100%. Yeah.
Well, the argument is that they didn't have a cancel variant up, right? Like, which is what Tasso's intervention mostly is. It's a cancel variant, and then you.
Yeah, like in this case, like that would have counted as well. But like, no, it wouldn't even in this case.
Well, what it really is an expensive convolute when you're casting.
Well, it's you play it because it's cancel and cancel.
You play it because it can do 2 things, but it doesn't do either two things exceedingly efficiently. In my opinion on it.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. But versatility is important,
Yeah, I still don't remember what's the Impulse Mana League hybrid.
That's Supreme Will.
I'm good.
Yeah, it's a 3-mana one. I forget all the time.
I'm still bigger on that one than I am on.
Supreme Will is a better card. And it's a question of whether you are already playing Supreme Will and you want more of that version of that effect.
Yeah. Well, it's a better card in the context of the early to mid game. It's long game Fastest Intervention.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? If Fastest Intervention gets really strong in the late game, that's the one advantage it does have. Just being able to dig or counter literally anything.
I like
Definitely
taking a look
key.
at their hand. Oh, they're gonna. I would pay the life here and get the chase down personally.
Oh yeah, you did a for that. Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I will be.
I think just flipping the horror here might be fine.
I will be perfectly honest. My
Do
context of
we
playing.
cycle the hieroglyph here? Actually, I think I might.
I'd probably do it pre-combat to know if I want to block this Rabble Master or not.
Yeah.
My context of playing Thassa's Intervention is I've been playing a bunch of Team Reclamation in Standard, where where you're just going like, oh yeah, end of turn. Thassa's Intervention for 12. Yeah.
If you have infinite mana, or you have essentially a doubling cube every turn that works for instant speed cards, like
exactly.
it's fine there. It's great. So they're gonna be able to. They want to take it from this, but they're gonna kill the Rabs off with this. They should have done this.
The charm is pretty good here.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, like, in this line of play, like, I don't like this line of play because you should have done that. If that's what you're probably going to do regardless, you should have done that on your turn pre-attacks, so you know if you want to attack or not. But
like they had creature free draw 2-drop.
And you knew one of them is one you don't want to get hit by more than once. Like Rabble Master just grows.
I do actually like the attack by Blahguy here because like you're not winning by keeping back.
No, you definitely attack here. I mean, I think you have to. Like, you gotta get them low. And I mean, you can take another 7 hit. It's not like they're a fast deck. But they're gonna get Jace down.
What do you do with a Jace here? That's the question.
Just take a look at the cards.
Yeah, just
find a burn spell. You have a shuffle effect to get rid of these bad cards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You have the Vista to do any problematic lands.
Spell Pierce has shown that it's not going to be useful. You know their hand exactly. You know it's a Harsh Mentor plus a Judith.
Have you seen Judith? I don't think you have. Did you?
No, they saw Judith. They had 2 3s in their hand. That was an opening card. They can now blow the Judith up for pretty much.
Oh yeah, from the contraction probe, right? Yep. I forgot about that one.
And they have Force of Will and Magnetic Single.
Yeah, this is gonna be I think the term is tough.
Yeah, now you have blocking responsibilities, and I think if
you have to play the Judith here and kill the Jace because Jace is just gonna remove a blogger.
Well, you could cast the Kenra out and do the same thing. You probably should cast Kenra plus Judith, but you need to block at this point because now you are essentially on the back foot. You're the control deck now.
Can you get the? I think the trick is. I think the way you win this game is just hope you can get the Dreadhorde Butcher to a high enough power that it can kill. That it can trade with the horror.
Well, it doesn't get counters this time. It's attacking Chase, right?
Yeah, like that's the argument for playing the Kenra.
No, it still gets countered. It gets.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Oh, it was in place as well. Yeah, play the Mentor.
So you should Force a Will this and then blow up the Judith and attack for lethal, which is a line that I very much so like.
Agreed. Like you take 1. What's that gonna do when you have lethal on board?
No, yep, you just kill.
You take 2 actually. Never mind, I've got the false life. Free from this as well.
Just get them dead.
Just get them dead. And that's one of the things that Blue Moon does. Like, yeah, it is a control deck, but like sometimes it's actually a secret super deck.
And the more I play the deck, the less I run like the big, crazy like 6 mana win cons. I just run like 3 1s and
you're in games of just playing Jason and Young Pyromancer.
Or like Thing in the Ice. Thing in the Ice is a massive tempo sink that also kills them quickly. Pyromancer.
Oh no! Oh no!
You have
Latin's
you can keep that hand. You have Latin's Legacy.
Yeah, exactly. Latin is just going haha. A bit awkward on turn 1 considering you have no blue mana to cast a
Flamekin Harbinger is so rough.
Pyro, I think. Oh no! At least I can bottom it now.
No, not featuring Latin.
Oh!
You definitely keep this one.
Like,
but you don't have
I'm actually very, very interested in Blahguy's hand here.
Yeah.
That's a Village Rites there. The new card from N21. The first one we've seen on stream, I think.
Yeah, that's one that basically does Foul Tongue Strike as well, right?
No,
it's a sacrifice a creature to draw 2 cards.
It's an Altar's Reap.
Oh, okay.
For 1 mana.
Altar's Reap. Instant speed.
Yeah,
it's not a bad one.
As we did mention earlier, Blahguy does play Ball Lightning Tribal, and if you're ever in doubt, when you see Flamekin Harbinger, that's the proof.
You know what they're up to, yeah.
Yo.
The funny thing is Flamekin Harbinger not killable by Chandra.
Well, no, I think it is. It's only the sweeper that doesn't kill it.
Yeah, you can
minus
it. Yeah, you can point kill it. But you can't sweep it.
Nope.
Now, what's going to be interesting here is, like, 1, does Blahguy get lucky and hit the land drop? And does their OP Evios opt to develop the Jace?
The thing is, if you want to get lucky, you have to not play the Harbinger, or
yeah.
you have to play the Village Ride, and if you play the Village Ride, you can't play Free Trip.
I don't mind just playing out the Lacerator and leaving a Bolt here, personally.
I'm curious, do they have any 2-drops they can get, or 1-drops they can get with the Village Rides? What do they have besides Ball Lightning effects to get with the Harbinger? I'm trying to think. Hellspark Elemental, possibly?
Yeah. You could also be playing the the Hellspark. You could play Lightning Elemental.
They might even say no. I wouldn't hate saying no, just playing a 1/1. No, we can see Lightning Elemental coming to the top.
Okay, and they may be sacking the Harbinger.
Yeah. Oh, that's a Clutch Island. That is definitely a big help.
I mean, you're going to leave up your counter magic now because this card telegraphs so hard, right? You're not going to play the Jace out, which is kind of the downside because, like, you wouldn't mind just playing Rotting Reggie.
Village right here. Just try and set up that play. I wouldn't hate. I wouldn't hate countering the Village right, but
I wouldn't like it. You don't know their hand, right? I mean, like, if they have any land,
True.
like, if they have any color producing land that comes into play on tap, which their deck probably doesn't play a ton of tap lands, you just get ranched. You know?
Oh, is Blahguy just not control land? Blahguy.
Yeah, you're gonna miss. Oh. But that's like we saw their hand work out really well for them as far as lands go in game one. I mean, they drew into the Wasteland after drawing a land they could play a card off of. You know, they kept a one-lander, right? If you recall, and they drew to Strip Mine. It's like, okay, well, it just worked out well. I mean, you got a little lucky. And that's the thing that you know,
drew land and Wasteland when you wanted it.
They kept a one-lander and drew like 3 or 4 lands, right? So it's like, it's pretty good.
This is definitely the kind of hand where you just like throw a lightning bolt end of the opponent's turn. Like not now, I don't think. So they might play something you might want to hit.
My guess would be if you don't do anything, they're probably just going to keep on taking 2 and leave up the neutralize at this point. If they're going to play the Jace, I mean, you slight first, obviously. And actually, that draw, like I'm a little more incentivized to slight and look to set the Fiery Confluence up to just blow their board apart. But you also know they have a Skelemental.
Yeah,
if they hit any land,
if you would like survive with like Chandra in play and a decent health total, as long as they don't have like the Lightning Skelemental kind of card.
Can Chandra with a down tick actually kill the big boy?
The biggest zombie?
Yeah, the big boy, the Rotting Reggie.
I think she comes into play with 5. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
It might be 6.
I do not.
Definitely
like
not more than 6. I'm certain of that much.
Yeah, I think she's just too much mana. She's very good.
Actually, no, I think it's 4, and I think she takes up to 6. I think that's how it works.
Yeah. I mean, do you cycle your neutralize at this point, or do you just hold on to it? All right. Well, they drew a tapped land. You probably just go for one of these here. Try to find a mana source. If you miss on a mana source, you're actually in an awkward spot.
I don't hate playing the Jays here. Just Madcap skills.
So they're just saying. Yeah, I do like playing Jace down here. I mean, just losing some of my cards and playing Madcap because Madcap's
like
really
I don't hate like if you like you probably know at this point that your opponent doesn't have a land.
Are they just dead to burn though?
Why not play the Jays here?
They're actually just dead.
Do they want to cycle and neutralize?
If they draw land, yeah. If they draw land, you're just dead to that actually, which is kind of an awkward place to put yourself. Because the Jace can at least block out some of the damages. They're getting close to having enough burn to actually kill. Well, they've been using a lot of burn, but they have.
They have 5 points in hand currently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't hate just end of turning Bone Crushing, and then untap, see if you got them.
Unfortunately, prevention.
Cycle neutralize. I think just.
Oh, if they hit that stupid, if they hit the dumbass Empyrean, that's really punishing.
Oh yeah, even that.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be painful because you drew that one more card. Oh.
Yeah. Like, oh
wait,
no.
Evius, what? Oh, wait, what? Yeah, thank you. Wait, what? You're playing the Jace?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, to be frank with you.
Are you that afraid of like remove spell on your?
If they have it, they have it. You know, like you just gotta make them have it.
Oh, okay. We're seeing the Stomp and the Jace here.
And you should definitely leave up your removal.
I think it's being only afraid of like a card that just does nothing at this point. If you just slam a 8/8.
Yeah.
Like they're playing black removal, but they're also playing bolt effects, and they're a bit awkward on mana. So if they're spending at 2 mana this turn, killing your 4-drop, well, next turn you can play a Jace.
And what are you afraid of? A braid? A braid is probably.
Yeah, but if they play a braid, yeah, sure, you took 2 damage.
No, I'm track. I don't disagree with you. I think if they play a braid, they play a braid. You just let it happen.
Yeah, I'm just deeply confused. I suppose actually they do have Blitz, which does exile, which is one thing to be said about it. Yeah, like this. Like they wouldn't have lost this round, but like it feels awkward not playing the.
If they draw it right here, they're in a bad spot. They did not draw it. No, just cast your
I'm
Madcap.
yeah, thank you. Why did we not
Jesus
play a
Christ.
Madcap last turn?
Yeah.
That feels the only argument I can see for that is you really want your opponent to play a burn just to be
Or they
greedy.
really think they're on a braid. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, but even then, like, then you just got a dead card, a card you just
you should
if you
do it
make that
anyways.
argument.
Just make
Yeah,
them
like
use
you
it.
have
Yeah.
just exactly make them
Make them use their
it, 'cause
mana. They're on 2 mana. I mean, make them use it for the turn
what else are
cycle.
they gonna do with it? Like, look at this Mind Rod, which isn't even a Mind Rod anymore. Like, look at that.
Mhm.
Like, you even like you put them in a point where like they have to have removal because like a 6/1 not even doing anything.
Now, I do believe that your life total will not change. I have to actually look this one up. Now, Red Mage, you could possibly tell us, you're a judge. If I get hit by a lightning scale elemental, I still have to discard 2 cards, even if I have Platinum Empyrean in
That
play,
is
right?
correct.
Yeah,
you will
it does
still,
damage, but it's
yeah, you will still the damage will still be dealt. Is
but it's
that
also not
that damage?
prevention. It's also
Yeah, no. The
but it's
damage is
also
not
not prevention.
prevented. It is dealt. It's just that
Yeah.
damage does not result in loss of life, but things that would derive from the damage.
No, I
being
understand it.
done.
I just wanted to make sure I understood it correctly.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I
I
think
don't
you
know.
just
That's a
slam
fair
a Crackling
question,
Drake
but
here,
it's that's
to
how
be
it works.
honest.
What's that?
I think just getting the Crackling Drake down here, just going, I'm gonna try and kill you.
Yeah, Crackling Drake puts them pretty dead unless they.
And I really
draw.
like attacking here, actually.
Well,
like-
I love it too. You should attack here. Yeah.
Especially because like if you block next turn if they were to attack for some
Not
reason.
playing anything is kind of awkward to me, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't like that. Like, are you hoping to cycle into a 2-mana counterspell if they really need to? Are you like playing the Drake allows you to find more land drops, like, and like you mentioned, no man, like,
unless you
this
win.
is the problem of playing 5-drop, 5-drop, 6-drop, 5-drop, 4-drop.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
you just
playing
use
Crackling Drake
hand.
allows you to win next turn because you have a Fiery Confluence. So if they even put blockers in play to block this big idiot, like you just
yeah,
Fiery
exactly. You
Confluence
hit them
next turn after hitting for 7 or
6,
whatever.
7, 8,
Yeah,
9,
it's dead. It's very dead.
10, 11. Actually, you're 1 off lethal.
What is the Crackling Drake right now? 1, 2, 3.
It's 5 power.
4, 5, and you cast your.
Oh yeah, the confluence. Yeah,
you cast your card first, and it goes.
Yeah, that was
6.
one. That was the one.
6, 6. Yep. So.
That is exactly right.
Okay,
and if you draw that, you could even cycle. No, actually, Shark Typhoon is an enchantment. I keep forgetting that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, not a spell.
Yeah, and even if one thing you forget often with Crackling Drake as well is that it counts Exile as well. So if you have like cast False early in the game, that counts as well.
Or delve out dig through time.
Yeah.
Dig through time, yeah, absolutely.
You can even play Harvest Pyre, which has been played in Red Deck.
Harvest Pyre.
It's not that bad. It's not great.
People have played that card in Blue Moon in the past, and I remember them mentioning
it's what we played before we had Magmatic Pyre.
No, okay. People
not Magmatic Pyre.
People
mention
people playing these version of like Harvest Pyre before it became standard to always play Snow and always play Scred. And it's like,
yeah,
what
I play
are you
Scred.
doing?
Yeah, my deck's better. And honestly, you don't even need to be playing Scred. I play Scred because a lot of the decks I play against run creatures. If they did not, I would obviously I wouldn't be that high on Scred.
Yeah, I think that Scred is probably the 3rd or 4th best burn spell. So like, it's part of like for a Black White Blue Moon.
You're talking about like removal. Yeah, it's not bad for removal.
Yeah, like. I think
you're talking just burn spells. I mean, the Gosmic can probably tell you. I can tell you.
No,
quite a few
okay, sure, but like
spells.
in Blue Moon, you want your burn spells to go downstairs. That's primarily like that is part of like I'm not leaving my house without like
I think it's still an ambitious statement because one of the card types that Blue Moon has habitually had the most difficult time dealing with are planeswalkers, and Scred does not go to walkers.
That's true.
Which is not to say it's a bad card, but it's a problem area the deck has. And that's why you like run cards kind of like the Flash Fairies, like even Glorybringer is pretty good against walkers. I'm not sure that Glorybringer is like if I was going to play a 5, Glorybringer is a 5 that I would be interested in this style of deck, but. Yeah.
I'm playing 0 5 mana sorcery speed cards.
I'm in the same spot you are. Yeah, I don't play any either.
I play like a couple of like the instant speed ones. Like I think Mystic Confluence is too strong to play, but I don't have anything that forces me to top 5 lands on my turn.
I think you definitely get down your Drake this turn and then look to. Well, I guess they don't agree with that. Yeah, you just get the Drake down. I mean, although at this point, like, if I'm going to play Drake, I actually don't like attacking with the 2/2 if I'm playing it this turn. Because I just have inevitability on the following turn.
Magus is quite lackluster here, but like you're so far ahead.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
basically
like, why
gotta have like you gotta find the removal spell now.
Yeah, a braid now.
Terminate.
Well,
Easy.
that's it, right? That's it. So now they're in a forced block situation. Actually, they're just dead. Yeah, they just lost the game. That's why you don't attack. That's why you don't attack with that fish if you're going to make this line of play.
Yeah,
However, there was a line to win this game. There was a line to win this game, which it's disappointing to see when folks lose to, well, yeah, not playing as well.
Yeah, this is something I find often, like actually, like as an aggro player, is that people who aren't on aggro decks, or at least used to playing aggro decks, often play players have
poorly against them.
defensively.
Yeah,
like
that's a game you should have won.
Yeah, put a threat out.
Mm-hmm.
You can.
Oh yeah, put blockers down. Yeah, because then your removal. So the thing with against like especially red-based aggro decks is like always if you have the option between leaving a counter spell up or putting a blocker down, put a blocker down because if they have to send their burn downs, if they have the burn, they have to send it downstairs to keep their board going. You know, for the most part. Now sometimes you get punished. They can have stuff like Sulfuric Vortex, which you really don't want to resolve. You know, but for the most part, like their cards are going to look like deals 3 damage to any target and haste 2 or 3 power. Like that's what most of your cards look like in red deck wins.
Okay,
right?
Arakasi, Mr. I believe in the top deck terminate. Why are you rooting for Blahguy?
No. I think I know. I honestly, you know what? Like, winning there is great. I mean,
not you. Arakasi in chat was like saying, "I believe in the top deck terminate." It's like. It's a terrible matchup for
Literally
you.
mentioned terminate. Literally terminate.
Yeah.
Oh,
what card do they draw?
Literally
terminate. Like,
it happens.
Brave here, right? And they actually draw terminate, which is the card. To be fair, like that's not a. It's a okay percent. I think we were already through like 10 cards at that point.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, I think I think you have to look at that game from the context of all right, like I've chosen to play this very defensively, even though my hand's more aggressively stinted, is the blue-red player, and I probably should have been pressing advantage that I had to have them see less draws, i.e., play the Crackling Drake and put him to dead the following turn, which it would have worked, right, which we saw. Or if you're gonna play that way, like leave the fish back.
Yes.
I was gonna mind twist myself, but then.
Access to blocking. So yeah, it's an interesting game. Actually, both these games, I hate to say it, I mean, it's gonna sound rude, but both these games, have, in my opinion, come down to misplays. Where Absolutely. The results would have actually been exactly different had the games been played a little more technically.
At least, admittedly, not always necessarily misplaced, but at least different lines. Arguably.
Sure, but it's still in my opinion. It's still my opinion. It's a misplay if it loses you more games than it wins you, right? I tend to play to the highest percent. I think that's going to win you more games typically. And I think if you look at the line that Evios took, putting the Drake down and putting them dead on the following turn mitigates more draw steps. They obviously don't have the removal because the thing's been on the board for 2 turns.
Yeah,
so
even
drawing
playing
to
the Mac Cap experiment that one turn earlier, you might have gotten in for.
Oh yeah, even that. Like you look, like there's a lot of little plays that I think added up. To a game loss.
If you're afraid of getting your card kill off Mac experiments, when is it not like a kill?
Yeah, exactly. You can wait for 2 more mana and get a counter spell in hand, but I mean that's like 3 more draws away. It's like you're not gonna be able to wait that long to be dead. You'll be dead by then. Yeah. So interesting games. I don't know. Me personally, I hate to come down to that, but it is what it is.
Who went 6 so here in the moment.
We had that. I was almost able to show you the last 15 seconds. I was almost able to show you the last 15 seconds of the Luha versus Sushi match, but it just finished.
Yeah. I mean, folks in the chat are saying that was an insane top deck, and it was a good top deck. But I think when you go look at it, it's Magic, right? Top decks are going to happen. Someone's echoing.
A lot of echo. Yeah, I don't know if it's me.
Please mute. Yeah, it's probably someone who's not muted in chat. Because there's a lot of folks in the booth at the moment.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
When you start looking at top decks, it's Magic, right? You top deck a card every single turn. So if you play it in your deck, you'll top deck it at some point, and sometimes it'll look like an insane top deck, and it's exciting, spectacular. But when you go back through and look at the games themselves, you look at was that top deck even necessary? Did it have to happen? And at the end of the day, could I have pressured them out before that top deck did happen? It's mitigation of draw steps through combat damage, i.e. ending the game, before the top deck can happen. So I think you go back and look at that game, what's most remarkable or interesting about it to me is specifically, looking at the lines that were taken that allowed that situation to even be a reality, right? And who do we got next?
We are done with this round again. We had the last. We had the last matchup. I was almost able to show you like the end of the last match, but they finished before I could get everything set up.
Yeah.
But well, we got Luca won 2-1 versus Sushi, and then we had what else did we get? We got Brahms 2-0 versus Kelvin. And then we saw Blahguy win 2-1, I believe, versus Evius.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
2-1 split.
Okay, so this is looking like it's going to be the final round, because we have one clean finals, which is going to be Blahguy versus Wolf. And after that, that's going to be it.
Well, I think Warren. It was actually game 3. Game 2, I think they got. Cause game 1, I think they got Wasteland Strip Mined. Game 2, I think they actually won.
Yeah, 2-1, right?
Yeah, it's not an ideal world either. I mean, like, yeah, ideal world. I don't even know what that means, to be frank with you. It's just, it's just magic. The ideal fake world of magic. Just gameplay, And I guess as a caveat on that, like sometimes when I'm commenting, I don't mean for any assessment or like saying a play is bad to be like a personal attack on anyone.
No, absolutely. Like, I think you and I can both agree that
like,
we're all the players, both of us, right? I think we agree on that. And
yeah.
I think we can also agree that we make a bunch of mistakes.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean,
except you,
sometimes intentionally. No, I'm not perfect. No, like even today, like I think so. Like sometimes you make mistakes to actually try to trick people. Like for instance, like to give an example of today, like we're playing a game, and I'm sure you noticed that I didn't use my Cling to Dust to get rid of your Genju with the Spires. Did you notice that? Or consider it?
No, at that point I gave up on the game so much that I didn't care at that point.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't, but I was intentionally not doing it to actually have you continue to do basically as a tempo negative plays because I could kill it so many goddamn times on board.
Yeah, I figured. I had nothing in hand.
Like, yeah, I knew you were on check and shit. You're on lands, or whatever. But yeah, I mean, like at the end of the day, like we all make mistakes, right? And for me, like what's disappointing for me, I hate seeing people lose games due to mistakes. Like it really, like I don't know why it grinds my gears. And it's not against them. I just don't like seeing it because it's like it's just magic, and I'm like, oh fuck, man, like don't lose games because of that.
And I think it comes down to like there's two types of mistakes really. There's the clear mistake, that's the mislethal. That's also where the misclicks falls under.
Yeah, I don't really count misclicks and misplays. I'm just like, yeah, you misclick.
It's not even a good argument. It's not even an argument for why you shouldn't do it like that way. Like that's not obvious.
Yeah.
And then there's like the less clear ones. That's the like, should I play the 1-drop or the two 1-drops or 2-drop on turn 2? Like,
no, to me those are the real misplays because that's like mastering those or like getting better at those is how I think you get pretty good at Magic, right? Like learning like where those incremental, I call them value-based decisions. Like, do I play this or do I play that? Like, what's the difference between Searing Spear and Lava Spike right now?
Yeah, or like even something even smaller. Like, do I play the Volcanic Hammer now or the Searing Spear now?
Yeah. I mean, like, when's instancy going to be relevant? All that. Yeah. I mean, or do I use to remove a creature? I go to face, or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
Do I wait a turn to play around this counterspell? I'm pretty sure they have, or like this card they may have, and just keep my own hands open. Like,
yeah, yep, no. So we got Wolfgang versus Blahguy. So aggro v aggro. Again,
I'm we're going to see more here from Blahguy. That's an awkward hand, especially if you know you're up against Wolfgang.
Yeah. I tend to favor monochromatic aggressive deck in this matchup. If Wolfgang is indeed on mono red,
which is,
I'd be surprised. Yep, it is mono red.
Although Flame Rift, not a great card in the mirror.
No.
Like it's funny. Like I always would like love to be able to cut like Flame Rift.
This is kind of a 6-card hand. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can use it to finish if you get early advantage.
Yeah, that's the one thing, kinda.
Yeah, Flame Rift's definitely not one you want to see on the draw. Like it can find uses in the play. This is a good hand though. I don't think it's a bad hand.
Yeah, it's actually better because of the fact that you have a mulligan, because that means you can much more easily end up in a situation where you have like one dude on board and just.
Arc Trail does take you out of a mulligan though. It's a 2-for-1 in most cases.
It is a nice card.
It's a hell of a card in the mirror.
Yeah. I'm curious if we're going to see. I'm probably just going to see Robert and be like, "Yeah, sure, we'll trade."
Yep. I don't know if you trade. I think you actually take.
At least with the last rate, swing.
I think you take. on this with the robber if the robber is indeed the play.
Yeah, you're thinking.
And then you look to light up. Well, you look to light up on the next turn, find your land drop off, light up, and then shock the robber.
Yeah, or something else.
Combat.
Something else, of course. Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm 100% agreeing.
Yeah.
Because you don't ever want to be shocking to cast your light up unless you have like a ton of lands. Or
no, I don't. Oh, they're gonna arc trail. I'm like, I do not agree with arc trailing here.
No, arc trail can get so much better here.
You get 2-for-1s off arc trail in this matchup.
Easily.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see an argument for attacking first and just seeing if you want to trade for your quote unquote worst card, and just playing the tap.
The funny thing is, like,
Blahguy is the control deck here. Like, interestingly enough.
Well, the interesting thing is, like, I oftentimes want to play as the control deck in these mirror matches. I tend to find I win more games that way.
Yeah.
No,
I agree.
Looking to trade for more resources, like I don't really care about my life total as much because my control cards, quote unquote, my burn spells are so goddamn cheap that it just doesn't really matter. Yeah. I actually like holding on to that, but I can see my argument.
I kind of wouldn't have minded just playing the shock.
Yeah.
Or more specifically holding it up because you might as well get the 1 point of damage in depending on what they have.
Now they can haste in with everything, right? And everything will have first strike, so it'll trade cleanly with the.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's pretty notable. Oh yeah, I guess the that one does actually get first strike. It's a card I've actually I'm personally not big on.
No,
the loyalist.
I don't like it either.
It's great if you have like a very like tokeny deck, like all in tokens kind of deck.
Yeah, or if you need to push 6 damage over the top of a first strike creature.
Apparently.
It at least does that.
Just counters all the tokens because they can't block suddenly.
Now my question is, do you even block this turn? Do you even choose to block this turn?
Yeah, if you do, like, you definitely block the hero because like, you have a shock in the hand. You can deal.
I could see the Judith just getting played this turn. I mean, it's awkward.
Yeah, I was actually originally thinking Judith, but yeah, I agree. I forgot the fact that you get trampled from.
Yeah, and I think the likelihood of them blocking is actually pretty small if it's an even trade. So
yeah, Judith is still a 1-for-1 trade.
Correct, but it does push a lot of damage next turn, right? If you're able to resolve it with a developed board.
Yeah, the downside of playing 2/2 here, the 1 and the 2, is that if you do that next turn, you can't really. I guess you do still make a decent use of your Judith next turn.
Oh yeah, you put more damage on board. Yeah,
but you don't get to use the first strike that turn. Then if that's important, it probably isn't because you're probably fine.
Well, I think if they trade with their 2/1 with your 1-drop or your 2-drop, like you're not that upset. This is an interesting attack, though. I guess they want to just kill it with the damage ping.
Oh yeah, I like attacking here actually.
Okay. I mean, you lose your card and do 1 damage. What's a first?
But I do think I agree with you here. I would probably.
You're going to lose this Direfleet Daredevil regardless to the Judith when you kill it with the shock.
Exactly.
So you should just trade.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. I play the 2 creatures here specifically because you're like, I'm up against mono red. You know what mono red's pretty good at? Playing the removal spells and killing my creatures.
So you play a bunch of them.
You know what creature you'd prefer not to get killed? This one called Judith. I heard it's pretty good.
That Skull Clamp's possibly going to run away with the game.
Hero. Not Hero. Rubber. Really good right now. Considering that, like I starting to slowly run out of resources, and against the Wolfgang who.
Well, next turn they're probably going to be obliged to cast the Fire Rift to set up the Spectacle on the left.
I am
stage.
very curious here. Actually, oh no!
They go for it immediately. This is rough. This is going to end.
Oh yeah, this is definitely rough. I'm not sure I like this one.
I don't like this line either. I think I like shocking immediately.
If I were doing anything, I'd rather just light up the stage. If I were to cast it, just
now they're obliged to cast all those spells next turn. I mean, they block, but
like you're not getting more playing the Flame Rift here than the opponent is. Like you're helping the opponent by that.
This is actually curious too. You save the Legion Loyalist here and play out the Vampire to grow it.
Yeah, I'm 100% playing.
You hit him for 5.
Yeah, like let's get those 3 counters on, baby.
The thing is, you need to hit a Mox next turn. You want to hit a Mox next turn so you can actually shock as well.
Yeah, like you want to like your opponent clearly just had nothing, and you saw what 2 costs they had, and those are not terrifying in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I think if you're going to go for the Rift line, you go for the Rift line on the following turn. But they obviously are out of threat, so they want to look for something.
Interesting.
Well, that's one that honestly, like neither player should want to cast on a regular basis.
I mean, it's still a 2 damage burn spell if you need to.
Yeah, that's 3 mana, 2 damage. Yeah, it's a massive.
Like if you like get the nat 2 at some point, like next turn, then you just go fuck.
Well, I'm not saying it's completely dead, but it's like Armageddon in like the Death and Taxes matchups. Like you don't really want Armageddons in the deck. You take them out if you could.
That's Enchandra. I personally have gone way off the 4-drop slot. I think see that Wolfgang is.
I don't
lagging
play
at
any
least
of them.
having a chance.
Yeah, I don't play any of them either.
Yeah, Confidence the only one I'm on really because it just says kill opponent if the game is still decently in your favor.
One of the issues you're going to run into with this hand is that you're I guess you're going to have to try to block the one thing.
I am very curious as to what to do here. Play a Scap Clan, I presume.
Yeah. And then you're going to get owned by the Legion Loyalist. No, the Legion Loyalist is going to get through. The Legion Loyalist pushes it all through.
I'm not even sure you played a Legion Loyalist here.
I am. If they had a sweeper, they would have swept you.
That's not what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you can activate the not. Oh, no, mind.
No, you can do it both, yeah. I mean, if you
Yeah,
hit it,
if you draw a land, I'm like, there's not even a question. There's an argument if you want to play the.
I think you do it because it forces an unfavorable trade, and you care about value. You care about
what it's
keeping your
worth.
creature
Actually, you can also you now have the chance to hit something off night again. I might just hit a burn spell and just kill him. Get him good.
Yeah, good. Good.
So they take 3 here, no matter what.
You can actually cast the Sulfuric Vortex post combat too, right?
Yeah. That's not going to be lethal though.
Depending on how they block.
So a quick block, and I think. Yeah, if they don't block, they're just dead. They have to block the
2/3 or the what is it 3/4 now? It's 2/3 still.
They're currently at 2/3, so I think they have to block the rob here. Actually, yeah, I agree. And then I think we're just going to see Sulfuric Vortex come down. Just honestly, I think it's better than actually activating the. I think it's just going to like you're not going to die to burn spell here. Like unless you're, I guess actually no, maybe not. You could die to like price.
What is the reason?
Price plus fire blast plus shock, I guess.
I think Red Mage is asking what's the reasoning.
Yeah, what's the reasoning for chomping the
I don't know.
Instead
I
of
would block the vampire. I would block the vampire because it's going to get.
Well, the problem with blocking the vampire is that you still go to 4. So Sulfuric Vortex then push you down to 2 because you know they can play that at least.
Yeah, but it's the
you have,
but like
2 HP and you have to kill them this turn.
Why would you chomp?
I mean, to be fair, that's the same case, but like here you at least have a chance of killing.
But it's chomping at 2 damage.
Oh wait, yeah, I forget it has trample as well in first strike.
Yeah, they
it doesn't really matter what you block actually in that end.
You do they get trample also?
Yeah,
I think it's good trample.
Oh, then it doesn't.
They get trample.
Oh, then it doesn't matter. You can block whatever.
Still on board actually. More or less.
I remember they got first.
Oh yeah, that is one of those few hands where castle isn't just a mountain.
I actually didn't mind that hand though. Oddly enough,
Wolfgang, I didn't get to see it. Probably I didn't.
It had a tap land and a wasteland, but it had a firebolt and it had a young pyromancer, which I kind of value.
No, yeah, that's definitely not a bad key.
It was
slow.
If
you're on the play.
Yeah, it was a slow hand.
On the play. I think on the draw, I wouldn't have kept it, no matter what.
Yeah, and you wait to play Pyro as like a turn 3 play.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a definite argument, as you mentioned, for keeping it on the.
Yeah, that's also like me like from my perspective, like I would prefer to play control.
I do think Blahguy's hand, so Wolfgang's hand here is great, but I'm sorry, a Skull Clamp in this mirror, especially if your opponent's going to end up playing the removal spell game, scary.
Yeah,
scary card.
It's a spooky card, but. They have 2 instant speed ways of dealing with most of the creatures in their hands.
Exactly, and it's definitely not a fast card either. It's still 2 mana to activate at least.
It's very mana inefficient, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the big thing for it. But we'll see. They can catch them out.
Oh, we're going to see Cactopus on the bottom here.
Yep, they're going to go for the clamp plan all the way.
Yeah, they're going to be playing the control deck here, it seems. We're going to see 2 people try and play a slower game, and I think that's going to, as we mentioned, favor Blahguy because they have the Skull Clamp.
Yeah. Depends on how Wolfgang plays it. I mean, if you show your hand on the clamp.
Yeah. One downside of keeping the Pyromancer hand that you mentioned is that it's not just you who's playing a lot of removal, sheep removal. So is Blahguy. Blahguy can easily deal with Pyromancer as well.
It's a turn 3 play. It's a turn 3 play. You get a free 1/1 off of it. Basically, is what it is. Which is, in my opinion, actually a significant amount of value in this style of matchup.
Well, it's a turn 3 play, assuming you find a land firstly.
Yeah, I'd assume over 2 to 3 draw steps, you're pretty comfortable with that.
Yeah, and if you're not drawing lands at that point, or like whatever you need.
So I do think you play your Mox first, then you just play out this goofy Abbot. Yeah, to try to find another land.
Absolutely, I agree.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't, you don't. But it's a threat. That's when you got. Oh, you find Pyromancer? Well, it's not one you really want to find there, but it is what it is.
No, that's you prefer that to be just one card further down, preferably.
Yep, you prefer it in your deck for sure. Now, what I'm curious about is, do you actually play out the Harsh Mentor here to get a blocker down, or you just deal with the threat?
I'm trying to see what removal they have. Shock. I think due to the fact that they have 2 removal spells, I don't hate just keeping removals, just killing it with the.
Yeah. Well, if you're gonna kill it, you definitely kill it now because you don't want it to have more mana.
I think due to the fact that you know your opponent has open mana,
Mm-hmm.
you definitely use the shock here, unless
Okay.
you want to double. Actually,
I think you use Incinerate because if they have like a mutagenic growth, I guess mutagenic growth probably.
I kind of like keeping the shock open here, but I think you might be right on that one. I think if you want to use Incinerate, then that's just pass a turn and just wait. It's the next turn, and then just go.
Sure.
Because the likelihood of them having the pump spell is low, and even then, like.
All right, they get a figure.
You still traded 1 for 1 at least. Took a ton of damage, sadly.
Figure will also likely get shocked here, but
figure it's pretty
again, I don't think you're that disappointed.
Yeah, no. Still a 1 for 1 trade. Admittedly against the Skull Clan board, so that's kind of awkward.
Yeah, but they do have to play critters to get clamped.
This is the reason why I did kind of like the shock play, because if they do have a lot of threat, next turn you can just untap, play the creature, and then try and.
Yeah, I kind of want to look to get 2 for 1 advantage off the Forked Bolt. Is my thing.
Yeah, I'm not saying you necessarily play a Forked Bolt there, especially because those were 2 creatures in a row that Forked Bolt ain't that great against. Because they can easily just go, oh, you're gonna shoot me for 1? Well, just screw up, like.
Well, we're gonna see them probably play their 2-drop now, would be my guess, and then try to equip.
Yep. If they do that, they should probably fetch first, just in case. It's probably not gonna make a big difference.
Yeah. All right. So this one.
No, we're gonna see a knight here. Are we gonna see double creature, perhaps?
No, I don't think so.
Equip.
I think this is correct too. I like doing this better. I mean, like you get had by a burn spell, but like.
Yeah.
Your OP doesn't have you under pressure.
Choice not to play the Harsh Mentor here though instead.
I don't know.
Like just
I don't know. I'd rather lose the Harsh Mentor as well. It's not really good in the matchup.
Yeah,
it's just kind of big dumbass. There's a price. That is a card that can allow you to burn someone really, burn them out pretty well.
Without really getting hurt yourself. Yeah, absolutely.
My guess is they fetch for the duel here because they are on single black mana. Yeah, so that's a 4 damage burn spell at this point, which could be
Flame Rift, but it's instant speed and only has 1 player.
Yep.
Oh, Mock's not an interesting. At least it's not a non-basic.
Not really a draw you want to see. My question is, in my head, I'm thinking, like, do you want to just go for the face right now? You have 7 plus 4, 11 damage.
Here's what I'm thinking, actually. I wouldn't have played the Mocks.
Yeah, keep it for prowess.
Keep it for prowess, keep it for...
Smuggler's Copter. Yeah.
Other things. Or just the surprise mana out of nowhere. As long as you have nothing to use the mana on. Like, if you're going to be climbing here, like I think you should.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're hand attacking you.
Yeah, same thing here. I'm not sure I'm playing the mountain.
Yeah,
that one's a bit more arguable, especially due to the nature of the hand and how quickly that one can change. But
well, there's
that's a good threat actually. That's a really good threat.
Yeah, it's not bad. The issue is they're not attacking right now with anything else, so getting it back is...
No, but it's a divination that can come back from the graveyard.
Yep. It's not bad. I think at some point we're going to see Wolfgang start going to Dome.
Oh wow,
that's a good one. Yep,
that's a good one.
Wolfgang's
like even with an answer, that's still a token. It's a continuous trigger for the blood soak as long as that token keeps staying on the board.
Yep, it's not a good one to see. You're generally not going to be happy to see that. And it's also going to allow
casting a divination each turn isn't bad, especially if you're like
turns out
mana or an action at least.
Turns out there's their own clan.
Oh, we now have a Skull Clan War.
Yeah, I think you just
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare Skull Clan War.
I don't know that you actually try to resolve the clamp here. I mean,
no, you never. You want to kill the Legion War boss 100%.
Well, I'm wondering if you even want to resolve it here. Let them know you have it. They have another card.
Play around like a braid and
like Yeah, they have a card that's been sitting in hand forever, and it's probably just a burn spell. When you're thinking about what they likely have as holdings.
Yeah. I think I like playing a Skull Clan. I don't think I think we're far enough behind at the moment that I just think you need to get going with Skull Clan as soon as you draw any threat, and I think you need to get back in the game. I think you can't play around that braid.
Well, they're going to draw, 4 cards next turn? They'll attack first, do 1, down to 17, clamp, get back the other thing, clamp.
But like what? Are you want to hold up mana for the price? What do you think?
I don't know. I'm just like thinking out loud. I don't know. Like, I don't see even with the clamp here, like how like you're seeing a lot of cards. So,
right now.
well, my curiosity is like if you burn them for 4, put them down to 15. Does that put you in range for doing something more relevant?
I can't
later?
remember. Can you use the Bloodstoke Champion multiple times per turn?
Oh yeah. You can keep on bringing that fucker back. Card's pretty good that way. You can keep bringing it back as many times as you'd like or have the mana for.
Yeah, like drawing a land here is actually pretty good suddenly. So you can just play it again,
Double clamp
again.
Yep.
Whoop-de-doop-de-doo. And like, look at this. Like, no one's taking any significant damage. Blahguy took 1 point of damage from his fetch.
Flame Rift, an interesting one to be playing.
Damage from attacking and fetching.
I'm sorry, not for Rift. Flame Slash is an interesting card to see playing this deck. I'm not a fan of it.
You're what?
Not a fan of it.
Not a fan of it. No, I agree. I think like Terminate, I can get behind because it just allows you to answer some things you couldn't answer otherwise. Flame Slash does not do that.
I honestly don't think I like clamping again this turn. But I definitely,
you definitely get it out of the grave, like 100%. Not even.
Oh, you get it. You get it out of the grave, and then probably just unearth the other thing.
Yeah, I like that. Like your opponent's got 1 card in hand, and if you try and get greedy, your opponent might just get it back in a game with Skull Clamp.
Yeah.
Like I think if I hadn't seen the Skull Clamp there, I might have gotten greedy and just.
There's an argument to leave up Incinerate. You know.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No, and I don't care for it either. But there's an argument for it. It keeps your opponent off clamp.
What are you going to see next turn with Haze?
Well, if they play like a Jackal Pup and try to equip it, you can burn it out with like Incinerate, right? You know, so it's an argument.
Yeah,
and you're so far ahead, like why lose? You know. But I do like at least getting down another threat right now. Like just
also really like the choice of getting the Swamp here. I'm not sure if they actually have anything else.
I don't think they have other targets that are duels.
That's what I literally realized because I'm a dumbass.
Yeah. Oh, you're a dumbass. Just I don't think they have any more targets because they're just a 2-color.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you just nerf here. Like I think you want to get it out of the grave. I agree. It's like getting Harshment out of the grave. I guess that's one argument. You could wait a turn and just get Harsh.
Harsh Mentor does turn off their clamp, or at least makes it more painful to use.
I was thinking DJ Wobbles, but I got Exile. I forgot.
Yeah, it could be Harsh Mentor or the Knight. Even the Knight does kill fast.
Probably the Knight kills fast. I agree, and I think it's.
You have double activations on it right now, which is a lot of damage, right? You just double activate Knight, just go ham.
7.
Yeah, 7 + 3, 10. So it's a 2-turn clock. That's kind of why I like it a little better than the Harsh Mentor here, but card is pretty good.
I think the real question is how afraid are you like of the Skull Clamp?
Clamp doesn't Clamp is a tempo negative play, right? And you have the tempo, so it's like cool. If you want to keep drawing cards, it's great by me. Like I'll just keep on doing this. And
shall we mention that the 9 is fairly jump blockable? Needs speed.
Is fairly what?
Jump blockable, but if you try and jump block it,
then
Flame Slash.
Yeah. Yep, this one's just over, actually.
Yeah, I don't Master.
All right, so the one card that probably gets them out of this is Fiery Confluence to blow up the clamp and blow up the entire board.
Yeah, absolutely. That
is the one draw that I'm thinking if they have in their deck. It's basically a Clasm effect at that point, plus an artifact removal, a Shatter plus Clasm.
They don't even have what I like to call the Red Take 1 Storm line anymore. Which is the Clamp, the Runaway Steamkin, and sometimes Mardu, the Young Pyromancer.
Yeah.
Because that is if you assemble that combo of 2.5 cards, I say half because you technically don't need the Young Pyromancer, but God does it help.
All right, that is not Fiery Confluence, so the game is over.
No, like they can't even play and draw some cards here. I don't like the fact that they didn't play the Mountain. That when you have the Skull Climb and pay should just have been there.
Just keep your mana up, yeah.
Yep. But no, they're. I think they're on board. Let's see. They get the creature killed possibly. If that's even worth it.
They're Dobbs.
It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
They're Dobbs.
8, 9, 10. I think if you equip the Skull Climb to a not creature to the Harshmentor, I think that's literally lethal.
They're really Dobbs on me. Like really.
Oh yeah, they haven't surveyed mine up. Yeah, right.
Yeah, they're really dead. They're really goddamn dead.
Never mind.
Alrighty. Well, so our prediction was actually wrong on this one. I mean, like the draws were. I mean, it was a clamp draw.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
I think there was some
Clamp
argument
is one of the best
first.
cards in this matchup.
Yeah, it's attritional, right? Especially if you get it off early. All right, they're looking through the draws, and they also
Wolfgang had the hand that was trying to go in a traditional direction. That's just really awkward when your opponent just slams a early skull
an
clamp.
early clamp. Well, they didn't have threats either, right? That's the issue too. Is they didn't have a lot of threats to really keep pressure up against clamp. So one of the weird draws that I think you would have rather just been the aggressive deck because you were playing against clamp. Not that it's easy, but it's definitely more reasonable. I think you can tempo clamp out. You really can't long game clamp out in an aggro mirror. So who do we have next, Red Mage?
We have
Arakasi
versus Luca. Yeah. That is the only one that I still see going on.
Oh, war, no big deal. Yeah, no, ideal world would have world peace, equity amongst humans, but I'll settle for magic. Yes.
Oh no, we'll have to talk more about a game we like. How horrible.
So snuff out, eh?
I'm not even sure why that pops up if you just.
What is Luca on this week, actually?
Mardu Aristocrat live game probably again.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely an aristocratic deck.
Now I'm curious why that comes up if you type in Dobbs.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out as well.
Because it has the
it doesn't. It ignores the space. Yeah, it ignores the space. That's why the D from Hoverguard and then OBS from.
Yeah. Hoverguard Observer. Yeah, yep, got it.
Ops. Ops. Oui.
All right, so we got Kratz versus.
This is looking really.
Kratz is a hard matchup for these style of decks. Yeah. Kratz is pretty challenging.
Like it's good at putting on pressure. It's first hard to deal with for a blue-black deck.
And you can't 1-for-1 Kratz.
Yeah, you can't 1-for-1.
You got to mass.
Yeah.
Mass kill
stuff. Creatures that make tokens are just hard to kill easily with like a Doom Blade effect.
Well, all their creatures are essentially really low quality cards that have low quality 2-for-1s attached to them. Like, you kill my 2-1, I get a 1-1. And it's like if you're casting Doom Blades on, 2 mana 2-1s that turn into 1-1s, like you're tempo negative and you're very tempo negative and you're card negative to a very small extent. Like a 1-1's not a great card, but it's still a card, right? It still will hit you every turn. And that's why the Jeskai has a challenging time with Kratz decks as well, which is one of the better like anti-creature decks, but it can very easily be killed by it, especially if you don't pack on early pressure. But at a minimum, like their OP is at 11. Are they just dead on board? If they have to block here, right? They can't take 3. Are they just dead regardless? They take 1 down to 2. They can sack the blocker. Yeah, they're just dead regardless. They're dead regardless because of Goblin Bombardment. So that is game, I think.
Yeah, like literally any land drops lethal.
No, I'm saying, I think they're just. Think here.
At least like realistically dead, if not literally dead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bloodstainmire. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We see our hand now. Yeah, they can just get this thing back multiple times. Just dome them out. Hit him for 2. I mean, they could have like Cling to Dust. Right, Cling to Dust would be a big draw. Cling to Dust would be really good there if they had it. They like Cling to Dust response for trolls. Now, if they save the Cling
there, like
exactly, because you can beat Cling to Dust by doing it twice. Because it's 2 land drops built.
Or like random ass life gain, I suppose.
Oh, they're on 0 cards, so
Cling to Dust.
They're on 0 cards, and they are playing Cling, which is probably a pretty good card against Bloodghast.
Yeah, Cling is like.
Cling is insidious. I was telling you, I was talking in the Discord, the Highlander Discord when that card first came out.
Card. I think that's.
And I was like, this card is insidiously great. Cling is one of the more interesting and insidiously great cards that they printed in recent history. That like is like the level of good that like you kind of want to have in games of Magic because it involves a lot of decision making, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible by any stretch of the imagination.
It's a lot better than folks first give it credit for, though, and what it can do in games. in either being a long-term engine or basically the reason that Kling is good is because it's good in all matchups. Is kind of my point with it. It's always good. Like it's always fine.
It's
you know?
rarely ever insane, except like against like Reanimator. Like Reanimator.
Yeah, sure.
But
like it's also really great against like red deck wins. Like you have a long attritional game, like you manage to stabilize, and then you have this card that just like takes you way past any ability to kill you. You know.
Yeah.
You know, in a color that historically, like, you know, the aggressive builds of it or the tempo builds of it, like historically have struggled with life gain, right? I mean, like, no one's playing Vampire Nighthawks because the card's just not good, right? It's like, it's 3 mana. It's a good card, but it's not good enough in this format. It doesn't kill people fast enough.
Absolutely.
It doesn't block well enough beyond bolt effects and removal that's commonly played in the format.
I think something just a hot take on like Aristocrats that I think a lot of people try to be too cute with playing all their 2 move drops that make a 2/2, and you definitely have to play some of them. But I think just playing a 3-color aggro deck that has like the grindiness to it, I think it's probably better.
Yeah, that's what they are. They're just aggressive mid-range decks that have some value-centric lines.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
are still aggressive.
Like giving
I don't
you
think
a different edge against like the control decks and such. Like,
what do you think about bolting this? I actually like equipping Clamp up and just sending in and be like, "Hey, block me, bud."
Yeah, I don't hate that either.
Yeah, I mean it's
especially because like this is just kind of an awkward play. That said, I think both situations leave you in a good position here.
Yeah, I'm looking at the hands. Yeah, I mean, your Meyer Triton's not going to be a great blocker anymore. Well, it is.
Yeah,
but
Recruiter. I'm curious, what do you get with Recruiter here, actually? I presume you're going to play that next turn. Actually, no, you might just Skull Clamp on a Mog War Marshal. That's pretty more likely.
Yeah. They're probably going to max this thing out.
3 mana, make 2/2s, 2/2/1s, draw 2.
Yeah, they're going to max this out more than likely because they're going to want to get spells in their graveyard for Terramander to make it big so they can try to tempo race. They don't max it out. I think I would have gone for a max out there and just, even though gain the life.
Yeah, it's a small thing, but like getting information is not nothing.
Yeah, it's not nothing.
You know what you have to, especially even when you're like on counter spells and such, you know if you should be keeping up counters or if you just should be playing your live tracks.
That's a big freaking cat right there.
I'm curious. Do you want to play the Brahms or
100%?
Yeah, I think Brahms is like just
100% slam Brahms. Try to kill him. You just want to kill him. Again, like you're saying at the very beginning, like you think that people try to get too cute. Like Brahms is just a massive threat. They missed a land drop, so they may have a removal spell, but if they do, they have to use it, and they're not doing anything else. And you can still make the Mog War Marshal play the next turn. And it's not like Mog War Marshal really packs the heat that quickly. It doesn't. It's slow. Like it represents a lot of cards with Skull Clamp, but like just get them dead. And if they have the removal, they have it, but they're tapping out to do it, and it's like whatever. I don't care.
I was gonna say a rather awkward card in this matchup, and then they draw Swords Plowshares because people love to prove you wrong apparently.
Well, I mean, like I don't know that you even swords this. I don't know that I mind trading the Prime for it with a clamp on it. Like I don't know that I mind that.
Yeah, now you
still get a 1/1.
I mean, you get really punished here, as it just so happens.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like, I did not see
the misdirection Ultra Dart. Yeah.
Why do you exile the Terramander of all things?
I don't know.
I think your counters was kind of awkward here. Like, you have too many each turn.
They're highly awkward. I would have discarded an additional 1 just to make the Terramander come down faster. But they played this card, which is actually not the card I would have expected they would have played. Would have expected Mog War Marshal to come down personally.
Yeah, I think the reason they're doing that is because they're greedy.
Oh, okay. I think Mog War Marshal,
and I think they're probably also going for the not even having to pay the Echo ever, still getting all the cards.
Oh, you don't have to pay the Echo, and you still just get a bazillion.
Exactly, like that's I agree with you, 100%.
Yeah.
And you can still play the it's next turn. Yeah, you lose like 1 draw card and something. But like, who cares?
Well, you definitely attack here for sure.
Yeah, you have to just get in some damage now.
I mean, at this point, you may actually have to clamp the Blood Artist just to get it, because you're just going to get countered for 2 turns?
Yeah, you're going to get your Mog Marshal. I presume Memory Lapse, depending on what we see. Yeah, we're going to see it Memory Lapse, probably. Unless we see a Recruiter coming down for some godforsaken reason. We're not even going to see the mocks being played. Disrespecting the miscalc here.
They are, for sure. Do they know about it? They didn't know about it. They didn't know about it. I wouldn't have expected counter spells to be in hand at this point. So I mean,
no, that's valid.
That does have to feel kind of bad, though. You're like,
but I don't think that's an argument for not playing it because you're not a deck that has so many cards that is this card, and you're gonna play it. You're gonna need the mana with the Skull Clamp and play.
Yeah, when you have Clamp and play, you just play.
Yeah, so I think that's just really no reason to not play the Mox first, unless you're like, oh yeah, Mox more important to resolve.
They're gonna clamp this card. Yeah, that.
Yep.
And they're gonna. Yep. It makes sense at this point, but like you don't have to put yourself in that position because Blood Artist is a good card to have access to, but you really want to get your aggressive base down first and force the action. All right, so they drew a Goblin Sharpshooter, Altered Art, and then Goblin
I was gonna say, I was trying to figure out what that art was for a second. I had to like
Altered Art, like weird.
put
They're
my
cool.
face up towards the screen to check.
I actually really like the old art on that card.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna be in a forced position of memory.
I actually quite like both. I think both are fine in this case.
Yeah. It's a little weird to see a goblin fighting like an actual machine gun. Like that is like, wait, we have machine guns now?
Yeah. Oh, that's honestly, like what that card looks like is almost exactly how it plays out. So like while guns are interesting to see as far as like artistic depictions of them in Magic, like that is exactly what that card does.
Oh yeah,
it
just kills everything.
It's literally a Gatling gun. It just like fucking chains down creatures.
If any race can pull off like putting a gun in their art, it's probably a goblin. Let's be honest.
Well, and they even have a gun in the new one. They have a gun in the new one, but it's like an arquebus or like a blunderbuss, like a massive shotgun.
It's more like a crossbow.
No. He's sitting with that's literally a blunderbuss. It's like an ancient shotgun. Like it's got a big old tube end to it. Yeah, that's not a crossbow.
Is this the art you're talking about with the hammer?
It's the one that they have up in their hand right now.
Oh no, that one.
That's not that.
That one's really neat too, though.
It's that one's cute.
These
like
one. Right,
yeah, the newest one.
The Secret Lair.
But it's not really like a shotgun. It's really like a miniature machine gun when that card goes off. It's just like tick 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 tick.
Oh yeah,
it just kills everything. It's literally like
in keeping with goblins being named the opposite of what they do. Like goblin settler destroys lands. Goblin
so what I gotta
find creatures.
What I find interesting is like Arakasi, like I think should be much further behind than they are right now. I don't think they're winning this, but like they've managed to kind of pull off. Well,
that might change.
That right there is pretty big.
Yeah, just slam two.
I think you get your attack in first. So I think you do attack them with one of your 2/1 here. I think you just get in there and try to dome them for 2 before you even cast the thing. Yeah, that damage is going to matter.
Like most things you can trade with my trade in this matchup are not that interesting to trade with.
Well, you may not block it because they may want the cards, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and I don't know if the damage is that much more relevant. The damage is relevant actually because it's actually an extra turn off the clock because you have a 3/1 in hand that has flash. I guess you could still activate. Yeah, Braid doesn't really do anything; it blows up an artifact.
Yeah, I think I quite like. Actually, is it? What do you like here? Do you like trying to put on a extra, like cutting a turn off the?
Well, if you cast out the recruiter here to get a card that wins the game, because you can find a card at this point that wins the game, I am sure it should probably get Brazen Borrowed. You probably have to counter that or stifle that effect.
Yeah, and seeing Sharpshooter now, you really just incentivize to like not play it at all.
Yeah, Sharpshooter can combine with a Braid and the Skull Clamp activation to heal the Tombstalker.
Well, what you can do here, actually, like from Arakasi side, is play out the 3/1 because they can't ostensibly kill it on board with the Sharpshooter, so its utility is going to go down as the game continues. And try to activate your Fairy Conclave and get in 5+5 and put them to a 2-turn clock, which is not
I think
nothing.
There's one argument, and that is playing it here puts them down to 7. And you know what? You have a Fairy Conclave. So even
I'm saying you make it a 2-turn clock.
The one problem with that line of logic is that there's some awkward things with that.
Ooh, what does Reanimate do on this board?
Storming Entity is in the graveyard. That's a painful one, but that might be the correct choice.
Yeah, you're not that low on life. I mean, like the issue is going to be like I do think you
try to keep up still keeping up your like bunch of creatures and everything.
I like leaving up the borrower. There's a lot of cards that tutor in this deck. Like
even if they go for the Braid here, like that's a bit of a risky play. I think it's a correct play, but it's a risky play.
Are you saying I'm braiding this card?
The entity, yeah. I think you have to risk it. So I think if they have the
they're losing equity off doing it now, though. That's the thing. They're losing some equity off doing it now because they could use it for a trigger on the Sharpshooter.
That is correct.
I
But
like
the problem
waiting
is,
at
I
least until
think
my
they're gonna
turn.
run out of mana next turn. I think they're gonna be lacking the mana next turn to do things they
Well,
want to do.
we know they're going to get Brazen Borrower next turn.
Yes.
So I think they should stifle the effect on Brazen Borrower at a minimum. Yep, that one dies. And actually, if it's me, I'm glad to see that go away because it does combo with Skull Clamp to actually try to burn out the Tombstalker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm happy to see him use it off. I think I would have liked.
Oh.
That makes a lot of things attack for a lot of damage, right? Does that get +1/+1 to all things? I believe it does.
+1/+1 and
It does.
haste. Lovely.
Yeah.
That is not the kind of card. I mean, I kind of like having. I can get behind having one card that just says pump the whole board. I'm surprised Flame can sell as a card of choice in that.
Yeah.
Because it is expensive. And yeah,
It
sure.
is.
Notably, it is a card you can get with a recruiter and what's the other one? Recruiter of the Guard and
Imperial Recruiter.
Yeah,
Imperial
you should
Recruiter.
definitely stifle this one though. You don't want them to get a Judith or something like that.
No.
Very stifleable. What are they looking for here? What's Arakasi looking for? Like a Wrath effect wouldn't be the worst.
Just a just
Toxic
a random
Deluge.
mountain and double strike like they randomly
Dig
play.
Through Time is a hell of a
Dig Through
card.
Time's great. 11 cards in graveyard. That's plenty to just eat up.
Yep. So they're gonna get their attack in with at least the
I think you just want. I think at the moment you just want to I don't know, get rid of or at least deny the sharpshooter somehow.
Yeah, just kill it.
They're gonna
So they're gonna attack. It's really it's frankly when they're tapped, it's the same, right? I mean, it's the same.
Yeah.
You could just tap it.
You're
I mean,
just-
there's not
you're
going
just
to be a
dragging
0 mana
the,
creature.
goblin here. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not playing like
Seeing it go.
Kasali Ambusher and have them mana or something. Well, that would be hilarious.
What are we gonna see out of the hand here? What do we see from Lucas here? We're gonna see Caracas and the Hissing Iguana. Not bad. Not
Missing
bad.
Iguanasaur, yeah.
Iguana could definitely like
Not
do
really
a lot of
great
damage here,
either.
depending on-
Not really great.
No, it's not incredible, no.
Because they got to kill him, right? I mean, like they really have
Yeah.
to kill him, and they're hoping to do that with this Flamekin Zealot. But the issue is this Dig's probably going to find a counterspell more than likely.
If they don't,
They
draw
don't do
naturally.
it again, yeah.
I don't even like playing a true name here.
I do not either. You have lethal in one more turn. It doesn't really block anything that well.
I'm not
just wait.
playing the Dig now.
I'd wait. I think I'd wait. Depending on how, like, if you have a lot of like, if you have like, Liliana Last Hope would be an incentivization to like not play it now, or would be an incentivization to play it now. But
or like cantrips, I think as well. If you like just like whiff and you have like
sure,
mana leak cantrip. I guess not mana leak because
Ponder.
the one awkward thing
Preordain.
here is you have the Mox Jet. It's gonna be not the most interesting right now. If you have like, I don't think you have it, but if you have sorcery speed removal, that could make a difference as well. Besides Liliana.
Yeah, not a lot of folks play sorcery speed removal in this format.
No.
I mean, right? Like
At least not in black. Like
you
in
get the
red,
Pennylander, yeah. I mean, like you could play like Hero's Downfall and like the Hero's Downfall is actually source. Or
his stuff is an instant, my friend.
I'm talking the other versions of it. You know, you could. but, like,
Never ever. I think is
never return and then
Ruinous Path?
Ruinous Path, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, him.
Hymnal's P good.
Yep. I do like.
Which means their mana is going to be tied up again.
This is a card. I'm gonna be honest here. I don't like it in the Arakasi deck.
Him? No, I don't either. It's hard to cast.
I'm fine.
Oh,
with
the
him.
demon? The demon?
I'm not big on it honestly. In that deck, not big on my Trident either, but I can get behind that one at least.
Well, they need to gain some life here, so they're gonna start. They're gonna attack first, and then start clamping. I'd assume.
Yeah.
They could
Yeah,
actually.
What do you want to be clamping here?
Well, I attack with the recruiter, leave up. Okay, gonna try to kill this thing. That makes sense.
Yeah. I think playing the just immediate. Oh.
Yeah, they're looking. I would attack first.
I
do
don't
the
like
damage.
playing the Gullet Bones immediately first and cracking that one.
Well, you attack first before anything, right? In my opinion, you attack first.
Why are you on
anything.
Loyal Pegasus, Lucas?
That's a great question. I do not know. I have no clue.
You're not playing mono white. God damn it!
Yeah, that's a very aggressive mono white card.
You have a free-colored Aggro deck, and the fall cards you choose to play Loyal Pegasus.
Maybe they really love the card. The card is kind of cool.
Fair.
It is kind of a cool card.
I do like the art.
Yeah.
Just a like noble pose. Can they get there? Can they find the?
So
either
if
like the
Arakasi hits a land and can get their OP, they could possibly get their OP to a point where like their stuff is tapped up and they can hit with the Fairy Conclave to get them down to 2,
that's
and
a
then
lot of
play out
lands. That is not what you
it
want to be
is.
seeing here.
It is. But you're still going. What does this thing have on it right now? 2 damage? You're probably not
2.
going to get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, so
Probably
you
not
have
going to get
4
there. I'm feeling
damage.
it.
You have 1 point of damage off, actually.
He has 2 more
So if you
bank.
find, if you find any CMC 2 or less creature you can somehow die, or even CMC 3 if it can kill itself somehow,
Yeah.
you actually got it. No, sorry, no, CMC 2 that kills itself is CMC 1.
Well, my thing is
You
like
can get there. It's
you could.
it's not likely.
But if Arakasi hits one of the more common draws in their deck, which is an untapped
Or
land,
Root, I suppose.
yeah.
Oh no, and that's just gonna be game, unless they can find something off Skullclamp that I can't think of. I suppose you have to. I think you have to just shoot them in the face and then.
Well,
Archer
you
with
could
Skullclamp
also
again.
shoot it to do 1 more to it and see if you hit like an arc trail or something. Not arc trail, like a forked bolt. If you're playing it.
But if you're playing Folkball or Arc Trail, you're
No.
hitting it for 2 either way.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Or you could just fair enough. It's about the same.
Yeah.
Same either way. Yep, didn't get there.
Like there might have been
Alright.
like path left in the deck. That might have been an out.
I do think that if you go back and look at how this game played out, I think there was some sequencing that could have put Arakasi in a much more difficult spot involving creature
with you there.
lines. Yeah, and it goes back to like the early dev turns where like we had Mog War Marshal not get cast earlier. Basically, Blood Artist get cast prior to it. Whereas I kind of look at Blood Artist as being kind of like an Anthem effect. Like you play it after you
it's kind
develop
of like an
threats.
Anthem / finisher.
Yeah, you play it out and it's like, what are you gonna do? Block me? All right, well you're dead anyways.
That's that's what I mentioned with like the Flamekin. Like it fits the same kind of role. Like you already have like some sort of cheap sack outlet at that point.
Mhm.
At that point, your Blood Artist effects are just basically kind of an Anthem effect.
Yep. Well, but definitely interesting games. Do we have anyone else playing right now? And are we going to round number 4, or is this going to be it?
We have Blahguy as the sole 9-pointer at this point. So I think that, as we said at the beginning of the event, we're gonna call it after 3 rounds.
Alrighty.
I want to congratulate Blahguy for winning the event again. It's 3rd or 4th that he wins this season. Blahguy is one of our top contenders for sure. And I want to remind everybody we are here every week, except we're not gonna be here 2 and 3 weeks from now. But barring that, we are here every week. Specifically, next week is going to be week 12, which is the last week of this season. If you want to sign up for it, !next poll will get you there. If you want information on how to join the event and how the event is run, everything like that, all of us are available on Discord. Discord gets you to the Canadian Highlander Discord, which should actually get you like ready to go and doing all of that, ready and like get you all the informations that you need. I want to remind everybody that if you have we are a Twitch affiliate channel as of not too long ago. I mean, it's been a few months now, but if you have a burning desire to subscribe to a Twitch channel and you select us to be that channel, we really appreciate it. Having subscription money helps us doing things like offering a prize pool at the end of the season. I have a couple other projects that could help with this. So yeah, especially if it's a Prime sub, it should definitely go to somebody. And if it's us, appreciate it. And if it's not, it should definitely be somebody. I will now shunt you over to. Let's see who's on.
Could I quickly just a couple of questions and a note,
yeah,
actually.
please go ahead.
So firstly, I think we mentioned this on the Discord. The Saturday series is, I believe, going to be having a tournament as well next week, correct?
Oh, actually, yeah, that's
Just
a good
a
point.
ticket.
So the Saturday series has had some problem fighting events, but we are definitely looking to have one last event in the very last week of the season. I don't have a sign up sheet yet, but it's probably going to go up later today. We are going to try and make sure that does fire. We want to fire up one last event before the season ends. So yeah, that is definitely gonna happen. Keep an eye out on the Discord for that.
Yeah. And secondly, I'd also like to, as we've done before, I'd like to shout out Highlander as well. It's a fairly new format using the cheapest cards on Magic Online, more or less, where we play 100 card singleton, much like Highlander, but with a set cheap cards. And we're actually about to have a rotation here in, I think, next Thursday or some such. Maybe Friday, I can't completely remember. So if you're like looking to join a brand new format where people are still brewing, figuring out what works, what doesn't work, we're going to have a complete rotation. Lowman is a big proprietor of the format. I love it as well. It's definitely worth a try. Hit up either of us on the Canada Discord in chat anywhere. We'll be more than happy to teach you what is it like playing with these cheap cards that actually still pack quite a punch.
All right. Thanks for the plug. With that said, I'm hoping to see you all next week, and I will. Let's go harass Sergio. Well, not harass. Sergio's awesome. Let's say hi. I need to do that before I do that, but I'll set up that. What were those noises? Okay, well, perfect. Let's go. Let's go read Surge. Talk to you next week. Bye.